for show. I'm missing that cash. Woo! Buy low, sell high. That's his command. Made a meal before lunch. Now he flexes on demand. Bell-bottom suit, shoes, crocodile. Even the SEC wanna copy his style. They wanna be him. Woo! Wall Street wolves try to step to his door. He flips them like a chart, leaves them broke on the floor. Laugh so smooth, got the ticker going wild. Did the band's brain when it flashes that smile. Drip, drop, ka-ching. Velvet Kohrs. He's the market's king. Velvet Kohrs. Watch that money swing. Velvet Kohrs. Don't you test his flow. Velvet Kohrs. Or you'll be broke for sure. Bow down, bow down. Velvet Kohrs. Listen up, baby, when I trade out on this. I make your mama cry, then I blow her a kiss. Your whole damn hedge fund, yeah, I ate that for brunch. Now get out my face while I count up my lunch. Ooh, he's a bad man. Velvet Kohrs. He's the market's king. Velvet Kohrs. Watch that money swing. Velvet Kohrs. Don't you test his flow. Velvet Kohrs. Or you'll be broke for sure. Broke for sure. Bow down. Bow down.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos nachos, mi amigos. I'm seeing that some people are reporting potentially a little bit of a tech issue here. Hang on one second. I might need to restart this. Let me just save that. Let me sure something with the stream key I might have messed up. Hang on one quick second. I got the stream key to be right. Let me make sure that we are getting all of our friends. If you are from the red land of YouTube and you can hear me and you can see me and you can just feel my presence on a metaphysical level, give me a quick thumbs up. And then obviously the same question for everyone on Rumble here because it looks like, I mean, I copied that properly. All right, we'll give this one a whirl. We'll see what happens here. Hang on. Let me copy and paste this in. They did give me a secondary stream key. Maybe this one's a bit better. Let's give that a whirl. Hang on one quick second. A little bit of a technical issue here. Are we... All right, it looks like we are perfectly fine on YouTube, but the Rumble stream key is apparently broken. Apparently broken. Let me... Is it just a little tech issue? Is it on my side? Is it on their side? Hang on. We're trying everything we can. Copy, paste, copy, paste. This is definitely the proper key. Definitely the proper key. We're going. Check the stream. Something is going on with Rumble. Something that it is not liking the key. It is not liking the key whatsoever. Right. Why is that? Hang on. It's trying now. It's trying to, like, I could see it trying to continue to reconnect over here. And the key, I just double, triple, quadruple checked it. I am using the right, I guess I'm talking through myself through it just to make sure. Server URL, stream key, yes. Server URL, stream key. That is, it's all right. Why is it not going though is the better question. Is it just a little bit of a bug? A little bit of a bug that I have to It's trying to connect, unable to connect. Okay, I mean, I guess there's maybe potentially a little bit of a tech issue going down. So we're going to circle back to that in a second. I hope it's one of those things that it just kind of fixes itself. Here, maybe we'll turn this off. Cool. I have one more crazy idea to try. What if we unplug it and plug it back in? It's so crazy it might just work, right? It's so crazy it might just work. The old tech support. Oh, I think we got it. I think we figured it out. You just had to unplug it and plug it back in. If you are in Rumble, I should be coming through loud and clear right about now. Just had to hit him with the classic technique of unplug it, plug it back in. And honestly, folks, that was perfect timing. Check this out. We are starting the press conference right now.
With our morning briefing. How does everybody feel? You like the morning briefings? Okay.
All right, we're getting an idea. White House popping off. Let's see if they have anything to say about
I brought a friend out here today.
anything really.
Questions, but first, some remarks. At 11 o'clock, President Trump will participate in a National Day of Prayer event where he will invite Americans of all faiths across the country to join him in asking for God's continued blessings over our great country. During the event, the president will sign an executive order establishing a Religious Liberty Commission. Later today,
timing.
President Trump will travel to the University of Alabama to deliver a commencement address to the graduating class of 2025. Last night, we saw yet again why President Trump is our deal maker in chief. We secured a historic agreement to establish the United States-Ukraine Reconstruction
The market is
Investment
loving
Fund.
that.
This is a
Russia,
first of its kind
Ukraine deal
economic
calming
partnership
down,
for the
and then the U.S.
reconstruction
getting the
and
mineral
long-term
rights in
economic
Ukraine.
success of Ukraine that the United States will greatly benefit from. This partnership represents the United States taking an economic stake in securing a free, peaceful, and sovereign future for Ukraine. This partnership establishes a fund that will receive 50% of royalties, license fees, and other similar payments from natural resource projects in Ukraine. President Trump has been clear from the beginning. He wants the killing in this brutal war to end. This agreement shows how invested the president is in securing a truly lasting peace. To mark President Trump's triumphant first 100
Do you
days
guys
in
think
office,
we're
we've detailed all week
closer
how
or
President
farther
Trump
away
has
from
been
this
hard at work
ceasefire at this
delivering
point? Feels
on
like
the
we're closer,
promises
but
he
maybe I'm
made
being
to
too
the American
optimistic.
people. And yesterday, the president once again showcased why he is the most transparent and accessible president in American history when he held his fourth open press cabinet meeting. Every cabinet secretary went into great detail, explaining how their respective agencies are making life better for American families and businesses. And then the president allowed all of you to ask questions on anything you wanted afterwards. One of the main reasons President Trump won nearly 80 million votes, swept all 7 battleground states, and received a resounding mandate from the American public is because of the contrast he presented during the campaign and continues to this day. Everything President Trump's agenda is grounded in one thing: common sense. While the Democrat Party went off the deep end and doubled down on pure craziness, President Trump pledged to restore common sense back to the United States of America. In a little more than 3 months, that's exactly what he's done. He recognized that America is a sovereign nation that cannot survive if it does not protect its territorial borders. So he secured the border in record time and ended the mass invasion of tens of millions of illegal aliens into our homeland. The president knows his top responsibility is ensuring the safety of the American people, which is why he's arresting violent illegal alien invaders in our communities who threaten our public safety. And it's unacceptable to President Trump to allow rampant waste, fraud, and abuse of Americans' precious tax dollars, which is why the president championed a historic DOGE effort that saved nearly $200 billion already. President Trump knows America is blessed with an abundance of liquid gold below our feet in the form of fossil fuels. So he ended Joe Biden's reckless war on American energy and is restoring American energy dominance to lower costs and strengthen our national security. President Trump believes Americans should be free to drive whatever car they want, so he ended Joe Biden's disastrous EV mandate and promoted true consumer choice. President Trump stood up for the Constitution's promise of colorblind equality before the law, so he terminated radical DEI preferencing and federal contracting and directed federal agencies to relentlessly combat private sector discrimination. DEI seeks to divide and pit Americans against each other based on immutable characteristics. President Trump put an end to it. In President Trump's America, individual dignity, hard work, and excellence are the only things that will determine if you get ahead. President Trump is a proud free speech champion, which is why he ended Joe Biden's trampling of free speech rights and the federal government's censorship of American speech on online platforms. The president believes college students have a right to speak their minds and go to school safely. Again, common sense. So he took bold action to protect Jewish American students from harassment by pro-Hamas radicals on their campuses. And President Trump knows that America's children are our future, and he'll never stop fighting for them. That's why he ended the radical, un-American indoctrination of children by eliminating support for divisive, radical gender ideology and equity ideology, and why the president protected parents' fundamental rights. And lastly, the president believes in fundamental biology. Isn't that something? Which is why he made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two sexes, male and female. And because men and women are biologically different, President Trump ended the unfair, demeaning practice of forcing women to compete against men in sports and having their private spaces invaded. When President Trump promised a complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense, he meant it. And over the next 100 days, get ready for historic trade deals, budget deals, and peace deals. For
Get
more on
those
President
trade
Trump's
deals
promise of
rocking. Let's get
revolution,
this
I will turn
market
it over to
popping.
Our White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller. Stephen, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Caroline. Great to be up here with you, and great to see so many familiar faces I've had a chance to get to know over a number of years as we gather this morning to continue our celebration of President Trump's unprecedented and historic first 100 days in office, what are without doubt the greatest 100 days to begin any American presidency in the history of this nation. This week you've heard about the historic actions President Trump has taken to secure our homeland, to secure our sovereignty, to secure our economy and our supply chains and our industrial base. Today, you're also going to hear from me about what President Trump has done to secure our values, our culture, and our way of life from the unwavering assault from the radical left and the communists and the Democrat Party. One of the most significant crises that President Trump
doesn't really sound like this guy's talking about the
wave of
economy.
racial discrimination,
So I think
so-called
we are
diversity,
good.
equity,
I just didn't know if they were
inclusion
giving.
policies
We got a little
that
bit of
have taken
tariff
over
talk
both
and whatnot,
public
but
sector
there's
and
probably
private
some
sector
more
entities
pressing things we should be going over before the market actually opens today. Speaking of the market, we are looking good. Pre-market trading, both the SPY and the Qs are up in excess of 1%. Meta crushing earnings up 7%. Microsoft up 8.5%. There is quite a bit of green right now. Stock futures jump after Microsoft and Meta surge on earnings. So, of course, I will be covering that. But just to really quickly update you guys, Thursday, May 1st, early this morning, we got the initial jobless claims coming in a bit higher than expected. 241 when they expected 224. That's exactly why a little bit in pre-market trading right here at 820, 830, we had a little bit of a jolt to the downside. Granted, we are bouncing now, but the market not the most fond of having more initial jobless claims than anticipated. Now, I do want to remind you that we are also going to be getting some PMI numbers and some ISM manufacturing numbers. So actually a whole host of just manufacturing, S&P and ISM. So those are still coming out today. And then I also very much want to remind you that tomorrow is not only just a Friday, TGIF, it's the first Friday of a brand new month, which means we're getting the unemployment report. So that's going to be a very big one coming out an hour before the market opens. Please pay attention to that. So in terms of macroeconomic events, yes, we have some stuff this morning, and yes, we have some stuff tomorrow morning. As we just heard lightly alluded to in the press conference, U.S. and Ukraine signed landmark minerals deal after months of fraught negotiations. So this is obviously positive, progressive steps forward. It seems like both sides are being drugged to the finish line, but it does seem, in my opinion, and obviously I'm no political war strategist, but it does seem from just the layman, the guy in the bleacher seats, it does seem like we're getting closer and closer to these global tensions simmering down. Unfortunately, you could point out that as these tensions are simmering down, other tensions are boiling over between Pakistan and India. So it would be nice if we could just generically get to a state in the world where war isn't going on. I know that's a very optimistic view, and it's probably one of those things that don't hold your breath on it, but man, oh man, it would be nice if just these tensions could boil down. Anyway, this was announced yesterday. Pretty big deal. That being paired with the fact that we heard from Lutnick not 2 days ago at this point, Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, that a deal is ready. We just need the PM of the other country to sign it. So positive on the news on the trade war, positive news right here with U.S. and Ukraine, and then obviously positive news with respect to earnings. Meta, Microsoft, absolutely crushing it. But very quickly, U.S. and Ukraine signed resources deal after tense negotiations.
What are the key details then of this deal? It's finally been signed.
Well, that's right. It is slightly different from the earlier versions because there were quite contentious negotiations that went on for weeks over the terms of this deal. And of course, we know that the original moment back in February when the Ukrainian president went to the White House to sign this deal and things went very wrong in the minute with US President Donald Trump. So what this is about is future licenses for natural resource projects in Ukraine. So that's everything from oil and gas to critical minerals. Those are things that Donald Trump is very interested in, lithium, graphite, and so on. And the profits from those new licenses going into a fund that's jointly managed and where the US has first priority on the profits from those funds. And that's ostensibly to help reimburse the US for any future military assistance that they give to Ukraine.
Holy fuck. Did you guys see that person? That's not a human being. That is a fucking Terminator sent from a few hundred years in the future to come back to this exact moment, put on weird socks, and stop something that's going down. That's, dude, the face, the jawline, the skin tone, the hair, the cankles. This is, dude, my robot AI system detector is going off like a motherfucker right now. That's not a human being right there. There's a ghoul in the White House. There is an AI system that went rogue hundreds of years in the future. Dude, did the security pat this guy down? Holy shit.
That they give to Ukraine. But it also does give
someone
the
needs
US
to look into
quite a
that
lot
guy.
of control.
I have more questions
over,
than answers.
Potentially a big part of the Ukrainian economy,
We see
depending
you,
on how
Arnold.
these projects evolve. And what it does, the US would say, is it binds it economically to Ukraine. So that's a strong level of support for Ukraine's future. It doesn't involve security guarantees, official security guarantees on the military side. So it doesn't mean the US would come to Ukraine's defense down the track potentially. And that's still a key point that's missing from all these conversations around a ceasefire is what does the future military support for Ukraine look like?
Well, Ross.
All right, you kind of get the vibe there, but overall, a little bit of positive news adding on to other host of positive news. And the major thing that we recently got was very good earnings. Last night, we heard from Microsoft and Meta, as I've already alluded to multiple times. They crushed it. Early this morning, we heard from a few others. And I do want to remind you, after the market closes today, we're going to hear from the heavyweights of Amazon and Apple, and also Riot, Airbnb, and Reddit. And then please don't forget, tomorrow morning, we're going to be hearing some from like energy plays, ExxonMobil, and Chevron, and a little bit of Wendy's, which I think in a weird way you could argue is an energy play. But taking a step back, Microsoft shares jumped 9% on earnings and revenue beat, uplifting forecasts. Meta shares rise on stronger than expected revenue for the first quarter. And then going to this morning, CVS tops estimates, hikes guidance as insurance business shows some improvement. McDonald's reports the largest U.S. same-store sales decline since 2020. So I guess we're getting, in a strange way, an interesting pivot to maybe people being a little bit healthier. But anyway, some of those big tech plays that obviously are a huge influence and weight within the S&P 500 and in the NASDAQ 100 doing very, very well. Right now, Meta's up even more, up 7.6%. Microsoft is currently up 8.7%. And this SPY is up 1.04 and the Nasdaq's up 1.7. Right now, without a doubt, the bulls are in control. We're just getting all these little pieces of positive news that cumulatively, when put together, are obviously very good for the market. Now, not really earnings, but strange news from yesterday. This is an exclusive from the Wall Street Journal. Tesla board opens search for a CEO to succeed Elon Musk. With profits and stock price sinking, board members told Musk he needed to spend more time at the company. Now, this came out late last night. There I was trying to enjoy watching a bit of TV, and I knew I had Tesla calls And at one point we were down, and we were down big. It's not showing on this, but if you have the overnight trading, if you're looking at like something on your Robinhood app, you could see we dipped pretty hard. At one point it was down 10, 12% in post-market trading. And just so you guys know, right now it's down 0.6%. So it all reacted to this. Everyone's like, wait, what? Tesla's getting a new CEO? And then right away, everyone started to read it and say, whoa, what the fuck is going on, Wall Street Journal? When you read it, it was really strange. It's all these people familiar with the matter citing random text, and it wasn't a hard-hitting piece of journalism. And then early this morning, they basically told Wall Street Journal to go kick rocks. Tesla denies report that the EV maker is looking to replace Elon Musk. Tesla has denied a Wall Street Journal report that the board was searching for a replacement for the chief executive. At one point, it was down actually in excess of 10%, and now we are bouncing back a little bit. And I do believe Elon was already on X this morning, kind of popping off, telling everyone how he really feels about Wall Street Journal. Where was it? Unless I'm losing my mind, but this guy... Where is it? Yeah, right here. Wall Street Journal is a discredit to journalism. People are already calling out, well, there you have it. Wall Street Journal is trash confirmed. Can't have it to be too smooth before robo-taxi launches. So, and I mean, if you were playing it in the short term, it had a huge impact, a massive impact on the stock. And granted, right away, the company already responded and said this is a bunch of balagna. So it is bouncing back, but pretty crazy stuff. Definitely some crazy stuff. I do want to get you guys, that's kind of the major news between last night, this morning, and all that insanity. A very quick look. Yes, bullish. Like we have a lot of bullish things going on. So now that is probably the best time for me to prep you up for today. So here's a look at the S&P 500 SPX. As always, above the transition zone is bullish, below it is bearish, and the transition zone is 5570 to 5500. I know it's a bit wide, but it just is what it is. Right now, we're in a very low stability environment, which means higher volatility, higher moves. As you can see, we are in a very negative gamma environment for the full chain, which means we have a very slippery price action, as in we can go up or down quite a bit, which is exactly why we have that large transition zone. Regardless, the way I look at it, putting together yesterday's high, low, and close, obviously the green, the red, and the white. I always care about those technicals. Then we have the transition zone, which is basically computed from looking at the gamma and the delta transition on the 0 DTE. And then from there, we have the yellow lines, which are the major open interest levels of the day. Every single day, I break this down for you guys. If you're in the Discord, you know that I do an early morning write-up of the key things I'm looking for to play out. But this is the major levels I personally care about today. As we're in between these zones, I don't care. I'm just, as we get to a zone, I want to know if we're pushing to the next one or falling to the one below it. But like I said, I would strongly argue on a 0 DTE day trading, scalp trading perspective, the bulls are in control up here, the bears are in control down here, and in here we are just in like more of a chop city type of a setup. So let me just double check where we're at in pre-market trading right now. Looks like we're at 5623, which puts us kind of awkwardly in between two zones. So what I was looking for is right now you can see we're getting a classic gap up, which does mean, yes, we have a downside gap fill. There's a downside gap fill to about yesterday's high value of 5569. So if you want to play that, have at it. I'm not playing it because I want to trade with trend. And right now, the overall option structure, it is more so call dominated than put dominated. But if we do see a bit of a dip, I would not be at all opposed to getting long into one of these dip buy opportunities. So I'd be looking for some support around 5,600, maybe 5,570. Might not be getting that downside gap fill today. But the major first upside resistance that I see is going to be around 5645, and then from there I'm watching 5700. Once again, I am not randomly selecting these numbers. It's from doing a deep analysis on the options chain for the 0 DT, the remainder of week, the full chain, and this is where that big money is positioned. And then of course I pair that together with the key technical levels of the high, the low, and the close, and all that good jazz. So feel free to screenshot this. Feel free to do what you want with it. Write the levels down, screenshot it. Just so you know, it is posted in the Discord. And for those of you wondering, yes, the Discord crushing it once again. I've decided that vol is low enough that I'm once again taking the Piper trade signal. Yesterday made $600. That's an important number because it pays for an entire year of you being in the Discord, as in If you understood this trade, if you agreed with this trade, you could have been in the Discord for free. Right here, Piper fired off at 11 in the morning, recommended a put credit spread, a Q put credit spread. I want to be clear, this isn't really meant to be a signal for people to arbitrarily just copy. It's more of understanding the bias on the day with actual math, empirical evidence backing the situation, understanding some of the key levels. If you like it, great. It's more of I want you guys to not only understand why it's being produced, but also understanding the idea of systematic trading to begin with. Obviously, I put my money where my mouth is, and right here, that's how I made my $600 was I sold some SPX put credit spreads. It's a bullish to neutral play, made $600. And like I said, that one trade would have been enough for you to be in the Discord for a year. And if you want to try it out, do not forget that the entire first year or the entire first month is free anyway. All you have to do is put in that promo code GOONIE, GOONIE. You get full access to everything. My trades. If you like them, great. If you hate them, fade them. Do whatever you want with it. I'm just trying to be transparent. Piper signal, same thing. Gives you a mathematical bias on the day. If you like it, great. Take it. If not, maybe you can improve it. Have at it. You get access to other members' trades. There's access to private lectures. There's various channels, written channels, chat channels. Basically, it's a community of like-minded traders who are trying to figure out the puzzle that is the market day in and day out. So if you want to be in that, hey, there's literally no cost to you for the first month. It is a perfect opportunity to do the test drive. And then, of course, this is free. You don't even have to sign up for this. You have to be in Locals, but you don't have to sign up for the Discord. MacRoseOutLocals.com. You get this newsletter every single Sunday to your email inbox where I give you a whole host of great information. I call it the major earnings, all the major macroeconomic events. I give you the seasonality of each individual day. I do want you guys to know that today does slightly favor the bulls. Over the past 27 years, the bulls have won this day 63% of the time. The profit factor is 1.5. Obviously, the seasonal bullish of this individual day to kick off the new month is bullish. Now, I should note that most of the bullishness happened a bit ago. It was more of the first 15 years in this 27-year study. Recently, there's been a bit of a hit and a bit of sideways action. So it is still technically overall bullish, but depending on the time frame you look at, you might be seeing completely different answers. And then just to conclude the week, tomorrow, Friday, May 2nd, a bit more neutral, maybe leaning slightly bullish. I just wanted to give you that seasonality very, very quick. And then that brings us to what in the world is going down this morning. Let me get this all ready. Meta's going, Microsoft's going as well. I know there's quite a few Meta fans in the audience, so you must be really stoked. That thing is up 8.2%, trading a hair below $600. We are getting going. It seems like it's going to be a pretty exciting day. Now, as I've been, I suppose, explaining to you folks in here, I am doing everything in my power to be a bit more disciplined, a bit more reasonable with my trades. So I'm still going to be waiting until we get a good market open, and I want to trade with the overall trend. So just to kind of prove that to you, I have not traded anything today. My 20 Apex accounts are completely flat. My 5 take profit accounts are completely flat. I have not front run anything. Obviously, I wish I went a little bullish down here and rode it up or something like that. But regardless, I just want to kind of show this to you that I have not traded anything yet today. Yesterday was a very good day on all the Apex accounts. I got $3,000, which is the max profit that I put on myself. That I put a ceiling on it just because of the consistency rule. And then I got $4,000 in all the take profit accounts. And just to pay myself, I already requested and was approved for $1,000 payout on all of the take profit. So that means I made $5,000 yesterday before the fees, so $4,000 after the fees. And I'm basically, my mindset there is just to be using that to pay off the eval fee that I've been jacking up on Apex and on take profit. So a nice in my bank account, it already hit this morning, a nice net 4K payment from taking $1,000 out of all 5 of those accounts. And other than that, we're slowly but surely getting these all the Apex accounts to the point where I can do a max payout of 40K. But I do need to get the net profit above 60,000, and I need to trade for a total of 8 days. And I believe today is day 5, I want to say. Maybe day 6. Is either day 5 or 6, and you have to trade a total of 8. So we're getting closer. Day in and day out, we are getting one step closer. So very, very excited about that, and very excited for what today is going to bring. The market's going to be opening in about 10 seconds, and at market open, I want to tell you about something really cool going on, and then I'm going to give you basically the perfect indication of what will actually be happening today. So very, very quickly, hang on. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. The one thing I golly. The one thing I want to point out to you right now is Bitcoin is looking good. Bitcoin, 96,000 technical breakout, solid follow through. And that's actually the perfect opportunity to let you guys know of how you could be in an opportunity to win a Bitcoin. Shout out to crypto.com. Folks, if you haven't noticed, they actually just signed a pretty big partnership with Rumble, and it makes sense. Not long ago, Rumble announces purchases of 17.1 million in Bitcoin in accordance with the previously announced Bitcoin treasury strategy. So that was mid-March of this year. Then a little bit after that, more so recently, we know that they are doubling, tripling down. The Rumble wallet is one of the most ambitious projects we have ever taken. I believe will revolutionize the creator economy. This is Rumble and Tether partnership. So not only do they have a Bitcoin treasury and they're in it, and obviously Bitcoin's going up, so that's just good for what's going on in a purely financial standpoint. Then from there, we see that, like I said, they're doubling, tripling down. It looks like they are currently putting in an effort to roll out their own wallet. And now they just announced a partnership with crypto.com. And what's going on here, as you can see on the screen, win one Bitcoin in the Freedom Jackpot. Between now and July 4th, hence the Freedom Jackpot name, they are basically every single time you do a trade that's worth at least $50 in any of the 400 different crypto coins and tokens that are offered on crypto.com, you're effectively getting another raffle ticket in this. And then on July 4th, crypto.com is giving away an entire Bitcoin right now, obviously valued at $96,000. So if you want to check that out, highly recommend doing it. But please also remember, this is the world of crypto. I highly recommend that you take those extra steps to be particularly secure. So whatever crypto you do or don't like to invest in, whichever one you do or don't like to trade, make sure you are being very, very safe with a cold wallet. Remember, with crypto, there's scams, there's craziness going on. I'm still a massive fan of the entire industry, but that doesn't mean that you should take all security and throw it to the wayside. So I just want to let you guys know, crypto.com and Rumble officially striking a partnership. And to celebrate the partnership for everyone involved, you could use the the link is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. They are giving away a 1 Bitcoin in this raffle, $96,000 right now. Once again, it is the Freedom Jackpot. You could do recurring buys. They have a whole basket. You could just find your favorite one. But please, I just want to remind everyone, obviously, when it comes to the world of crypto, massive, massive fan, but you got to still be safe and secure. So highly recommend you also get a wallet. But check that out, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. And that brings us back to what in the world is going on to Bitcoin, 96,000, MSTR up 3%. Crypto's getting hot right now. It was getting cool there for a second, but once again, it is getting real hot right now. So interesting opportunity. Like I said, there's probably many ways to gamify it, but I would think it would be very, very cool if one of you guys ends up winning an entire Bitcoin. It's almost a 6-figure giveaway. That is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. But obviously, special shout out to Rumble for striking such a cool deal. It seems like they are beyond the doubling and tripling down. It seems like they are quadrupling and quintupling down on this concept of getting into the crypto sphere. I personally think it's really cool, and I think it's a really smart decision. But obviously, those are my personal opinions. All right, with all that being said, we are opening kind of in no man's land. We are kind of closer to this support. There is support at 5,600. There is support at 5,610. So watching this 10-point region, if it can hold, I'd be expecting a bounce all the way up to 5,645. But I do want to remind you that this morning, both at 9:45 and also at 10 a.m., there are going to be some macroeconomic announcements. So be prepared for that. I personally, beyond the fact that we are getting those macroeconomic announcements, beyond that fact, I will... I've been attempting to wait till past 10 a.m. anyway. Just right now, it seems like there's quite a bit of volatility in the system, especially early on. And we're seeing a lot of dramatic fake outs one way or the other. So for me personally, it's more of like, let's just try to not get caught up in any of that chop. So for me, just kind of calm, cool, collected. I'm seeing a lot of green. Granted, even though there is quite a bit of a green. Dude, Microsoft's up 10% right now. That is crazy. Wait, where did Meta go? Where did Meta go on my watch list? Meta. Am I blind? Oh, it's right above it. Meta currently up 6%. So yeah, from market open till now, we have a little bit of a trend down, but overall from market close yesterday until right now, I'm seeing a whole heck of a lot of green. The 5-minute is on the bearish side of things. The 10-minute is on the bearish side of things, but the 30-minute and the 4-hour are bullish. Once again, coming to the NASDAQ, we were just looking at the S&P 500. The 5-minute and the 10-minute are now on the bearish side of the EMA cloud, but the 30-minute and the 4-hour on the bullish. So the shortest time frames, the two shortest time frames, are telling us a slightly different story than more of the medium time frames. So for me, that is just another reason beyond the fact that we have news coming out, which I think that's reason enough to just be patient and wait. But seeing this mismatch between the shortest time frame and more of these medium time frames, like I said, just a opportunity to be patient and do exactly what you need to. What's your opinion on SoFi? What do you mean? Like as an investment, as a trade, for earnings, for options, in what? I guess for me to give a more useful answer, I would have to have a better understanding of what your question is. But I could help you. If you're asking me about a long-term investment, I just don't know anything. I'm not deeply knowledgeable about the overall fundamentals of the company. So it might be good, might be bad, but it's just not a stock that I study. Actually, not a stock that I study really whatsoever. So if you're looking at it as an investment, yeah, I would just recommend doing your research on the fundamentals of the company. For today, if you want to know my thoughts on SoFi for today, flip a coin. That's a really, really short time frame. Remember, the market is normally distributed, which is a really fancy mathematical way of saying half the time you go up and half the time you go down. So if you want to know the thoughts on today, flip a coin. Remember, if you're in active trading, it sounds like you're trying to actively trade SoFi. Assume half the time you're going to be right and half the time you're going to be wrong. It's more of, can you get in with low risk and high reward? You're not really going to get out the bounds of a 50% hit rate and a 50% miss rate, maybe plus or minus 10%, but that's like the average success and failure of a retail trader. You're not going to be able to move that much because, once again, especially in the short term, there's so much noise. There's so many random BS signals. So that doesn't mean you can't be profitable, but if you're playing a game of flipping a quarter, how are you net profitable? Well, you have to make sure your losses are really small and your wins are on a relative basis really big. So whatever direction you're trading SoFi, have at it. I would recommend looking at the options flow and maybe just try to take the same trade as what big players are doing. That's how I would do it. But I don't know. Like I get those questions a lot of like, what's it doing today? Or what are your thoughts on earnings? Flip a quarter. I'm probably one of the few honest active traders, or I should say the streamer traders, who will tell you, folks, it's a 50-50 game. You just have to kind of get used to it. It simply is what it is. If I could wave a magic wand and improve the overall statistics of the market, I would, but that's just honestly what the statistics of the market are. You roughly have a 50-50 shot. Of course, there's certain circumstances where it could be improved. And for example, you could sell premium and you could look at the delta, and that's kind of messing with the odds right there. But in terms of just like at any given moment, should you go long or short, what's the next bar going to be? The next 1 minute bar, the next 5 minute bar, the next 10 minute bar, the next daily bar. If that's the question, is the next bar green or red? And by next bar, you're defining it as whatever time frame. It's about a 50-50 shot. It really, really is. So if you're actively trading is much more difficult than investing. Investing is on a relative basis far, like it's actually comically easier. All you have to do for long-term investing is understand what a good looking company is from a fundamental standpoint, like looking into the publicly posted all of their documents, all their financial documents. And then from there, you just look at, is it continuing to grow? And then you get into it and you ride it and ride it and ride it as long as the fundamentals remain strong. The longer your time frame, the easier stuff is. The shorter your time frame, there's more noise, as in there's more randomness involved. And that's like just kind of a well-known, almost like a speedometer. In the short term, it is a wild, noise-riddled, I guess, voting system. And then in the long term, it's more of a weighing system where the good quality things eventually, given enough time, obviously rise to the top. But even some of the best companies can have a down minute, a down week, a down month, even a down year. But yet in the long term, you could see these like just dramatic eye-watering gains. So life is easier in the market the longer your time frame is. That's just like general well-known math and the statistical distribution of the market. A lot of the times people conflate the two. And they think that trading and investing are the same thing or even similar, and they're not. And I understand why people think that they could be similar at a minimum, just because they both involve buying and selling on the open market, but they are massively, massively different. Really, the similarity stops there. It's to the point that I don't even think trading and investing should be considered in the same conversation whatsoever, beyond the conversation of explaining that they are not similar whatsoever. That's how. You got to know if you're dealing with an undecided candle as well. Oh, yeah. Obviously, the undecided candle is very, very important. You definitely want to be targeting more of those decided candles. I would assume that would make your overall trading and or investing experience that much easier by knowing the decision nature of your candle. Very, very important. But right now, I'm of the opinion that you shouldn't be front running anything right now, just because we are waiting for both a 9:45 data drop and also a 10 a.m. data drop. We are going to be getting updates in the world of really specifically manufacturing. So it might not have the biggest impact on some of these tech names, but I would argue important nonetheless. So right now, we're not really doing anything. Tech showing a little bit of weakness, but I do want to clarify it's still gapped up by 1.3%, which I would classify as pretty freaking nice. So just wait. Patience. It's one of those weird things where there's not many industries in the world that reward you for doing nothing, but trading is one of those weird things where a lot of the times you are better off absolutely doing nothing. And in most things in life, the more effort you put in, the more research, this, that, the other thing, it just feels like the harder you're grinding it out, your rewards are going to be better. Trading is one of those things where you're actually rewarded by kind of sitting there and doing absolutely nothing. So that's kind of where I'm at today. And here's a look at the trace tool. I see some people asking for it. Let me go to the 5 minute. Maybe it's a bit more clear. We're still right on top of 5,600. There's a call wall there. I'm looking for that to be support, which is exactly why I kind of laid that out today. One thing you could be looking at is maybe this potential trend line break. I will be setting an alert on that just in case we get that bullish breakout. But right here, I would say that's a nice technical breakout, potentially setting up 5645, and we are right on top of support. Just because we're on top of it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold, but obviously I'll be paying close attention to it. And then with respect to Hero, I might need to reload. Let me reload. I did open this tab forever ago this morning. Here's a quick look at the options flow for the S&P 500. Weak, strong, back to weak. So really indecisive in movement. Mag 7, a different story. Pretty strong until about 9:35, and now we're kind of giving some back. So a little bit of a mismatch. We're not seeing that beautiful trend right out of the gate. So let's just wait. Let's just wait. We don't need to rush anything. I mean, yesterday, especially if you were here for the cabinet meeting, you know that I had a pretty good day to start. I made about 25K on those accounts, on all those futures accounts. And then I had to wait for hours and hours. And then I finally got into a play. And even when I got into a play, everyone in the Discord knows I was still waiting for a very awkwardly long time. So it's one of those things that if you were to look at whatever minute bar or tick bar or whatever, the chance, if you look at all the bars that play out in an entire trading day, the chance of you being there like right at that exact moment, you're like, nope, this is the time I have to do it. Think about how many bars there are in a day and think how many times there's actually a good trade. Just statistically, the chance of you saying, look, this is the bar right now, like I gotta buy, I gotta sell, like, and actually act, it's very, very low. So eventually we do get to those setups where you see optimal reward and minimal risk. But the chance of just being arbitrarily, like you turn on your charts and you're like, nope, I got to do this. It's just, the chances are low. They really, really are low. So let's just wait. We know we have a report coming out at 9:45. We have a report coming out at 10 a.m. And if anything, as I'm droning on about this, it's just a reminder to myself to not rush it whatsoever. It will, when the opportunity is there, it'll be there. We kind of all have those gut feelings when we know we're doing something stupid. And then we have those feelings of like almost like calmness when you know you're doing the right thing. So let's just patient. Let's just do this together today. So This announcement should be coming out right now. Like I said, we have a little bit of manufacturing data. S&P Global coming out at 9:45. What was this? White House advisor Miller does not commit to tariff relief for small businesses. That came out about 12 minutes ago. U.S. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI was 50.2 versus the expectation of 50.5. So the S&P Global Manufacturing number slightly less than anticipated. Once again, coming in at 50.2, and the expectation was 50.5, and last time around it was 50.7. So they expected a slight drop, and we dropped a little bit more than that. That's the data that just came out at 9:45, like literally right now in real time. And then in 15 more minutes, we're going to have a bit more data. So out of the gate, we have Meta, people are profit taking. Same thing with MSTR. Same thing. Well, Microsoft's holding up a little bit more. I do want to remind you that Amazon and Apple are reporting earnings after the market closes today. Broadcom is going up 3. Whoa. I have Broadcom. Hey, this guy on your screen has Broadcom. How am I doing on that one? Not bad at all. Not bad on Broadcom. Up about unrealized gain 44%, making me about 6.6K. And just to kind of show you guys where I'm at, currently getting clocked by Tesla down 30%, up 46% on Broadcom, up 84% on SPY, and up 128% on Qs, up $39,000 on this play. I got into it on April 23rd. If you needed a real-time explanation of why you should get your butt into the Discord, this was all posted in real time. April 23rd to now, I'm up $39,000 on this position alone. I'm up another $27,000 on SPY, once again, getting in on April 23rd. And then I'm up 7.5K on Broadcom. And unfortunately, I'm down 4.6K on Tesla. Not a bad day to be me. Up about 33K on that. So like I said, the first month of you being in the Discord is free. So if you're like, this is, I don't know, I would argue it's just the perfect time to kind of test drive it. I do want to remind you, it can take up to a day to process your account. So to get into the Discord, if you're like a little bit confused, to sign up in the Discord, it's all through the payment manager locals right here. If you want to be in the Discord, there's a giant Discord button right there. You would click that, or right here, you would use this link, Discord link. So go to the second pinned message or click on this, but you first have to be a supporter on locals. If you're not a supporter on locals, it's not going to work. Once you're a supporter on locals, which is the payment manager, then you'll be able to get access into the Discord. Once again, clicking that or going to this, but pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video is that link of how you can get a 1 month free membership. Just double check that this promo code GOONIE is applied. And once again, is it worth it? Well, after your free month, I just want to clarify that it's only $600 a month and this trade is up 40 grand. So I would say, like, if you took this trade, if you're like, yes, I see what Matt is seeing and I'm gonna bet it, you would be in here for not only the remainder of your life, but also your kid's life and also your kid's life. And that one trade would have paid for it. My entire concept of this is to get people to really for it to have so much value in there that it's silly to not be within the Discord, that you're gaining more value than ideally within a month, you gain more value than the entire yearly cost. So you're just massively net ahead. Too much coffee this morning, dude. So much coffee this morning. I was all just all jacked up, you know. I was feeling good. I saw the news that was going on. Honestly, I had a nice dopamine hit because of how I was able to end yesterday with all of my futures trading. I got up early this morning, crack of dawn, to catch some digital shrimp on RuneScape and getting thousands and thousands of those suckers. So yeah, it just feels like everything's coming up, Matt. It feels like, honestly, yeah, dude, I hit the stair stepper yesterday, got in a nice 150 flights. Guys, I think we should make the unofficial, official stair stepper club, where every single day we all commit to just crushing it on the stair stepper. And the coolest thing about being a stair stepper aficionado, fanatic, is physically you are above everyone else in the gym. Like, you are looking down upon all the peasants. So not only are you there getting your beach body ripped for the summer, but like it's just a pure dominance play. It is literally a pure dominance play. You are looking down at all the weakling and all the peasants beneath you as you are doing something they honestly just don't have the gall or the ball sack to do. So Yeah, every day, just day in and day out. Don't miss a day. You got to David Goggins it. But yeah, it's there's no better dominance play in the gym than actually being physically above each other. The only times I get a little bit angry is where I'm like crushing it, and then I see someone else doing muscle ups, and then they're like physically getting above the pull up bar. That's just like an alpha battle at a certain point. And then I just stare them down and I just keep going and going and going. I think the only thing like that could be more dominant than being a stair stepper aficionado is actually doing it in a sauna. Do you know how savage that would be? Like actually looking at everyone just dying in the sauna, sitting there, sipping their like little cup of water or whatever the hell it is. Imagine being the person in the middle of the sauna and you're just stair stepping it. Just like as if stair stepping is too easy, as if the sauna is too easy, that you're like, no, dude, I got to pair these together. Now that I'm saying that out loud, don't steal that idea. That's probably going to be my retirement idea. So please don't steal it. I can't lie and say it's like patent pending or copyright or anything, but that's my big business venture. One of these days when I'm done with the markets, when I'm done with streaming, when I'm done with content, I will be pivoting into creating the first sauna stair stepper gym out there. So we're going to see how it goes, but please don't steal it. If you guys want to sign up, if you want to be an early stage investor, I can't even say you're in on the ground floor. It's before the ground floor. Like we haven't even created the ground floor. But if you're interested in that, just hit me up. I'm always looking for people to partner up with my sauna stair stepping ideas. Dehydration immediately. Yeah, that's if you believe in water. I'm not really sold it. Feels like a little bit of a conspiracy if you ask me. The steppers are going to rust out in weeks. Well, that's why we create fully plastic ones or something. Fully plastic ones. I think it's going to be the initial steps necessary to get it recognized as an Olympic sport. I mean, if they can have stupid ass breakdancing as an Olympic sport, where that one lady cheated her way into being into the competition to such a degree that there's now like her country's looking into her for some sort of like federal level crime. If that's allowed to be in the Olympics for a cycle, why can't stair stepping? And I've already figured it out. The competition is easy. You get all the competitors. It's just one round. It is just one round. Like it's none of this like, oh, like we're going to get going, anything like that. No. All the competitors from all the countries, they get on their stair stepper. A judge comes by, they set the speed and you hit start. And every single 10 minutes, the speed goes up. That's how you do it. You start at maybe a nice speed of 10 and every 10 minutes, you just increase the speed and it happens automatically. And it's literally just the last person standing gets the gold medal. I mean, I would watch that competition day in and day out. Hours later, imagine that. Dude, we would see these people hours into it, sprinting up the stair stepper, just looking at their competitors, begging for them to quit and fall off or whatever, pass out. I don't know. Is Coke allowed? Of course, dude. What kind of competition would it be if I banned Coke? Folks, I'm not saying that I'm the nicest commissioner, but I'm a fair commissioner. I understand the value of entertainment. Why would, as the commissioner of the first stair stepping league, why would I do something so conservative and bombastic as banning Coke? That would be so silly. That would be absurdly silly of me. I don't want to stop the league or stop the sport before it even starts, dude. That wouldn't even make sense of me to do, you know? Just it simply would not make sense. Mr. Beast has entered the chat, dude. I think he might be into it. All right. We're waiting. I'm awkwardly rambling on just because I'm trying to get myself from trading and doing something stupid. So I'm just trying to wait. I see the SPY looking nice. I see the Qs looking nice. How's Tesla? Tesla's back in the green territory. Nice pop there. Microsoft, one of the biggest gainers on the day. Meta's a big gainer too, but there's a lot of profit taking on it. MSTR is looking decent. Dude, maybe Tesla can get popping above 290 today. Broadcom's looking good. What else is looking real good? Nvidia's looking good, which is probably semiconductors are getting a nice pop. Here's a quick look at the flow of the day. Here's the S&P 500. Finally caught itself roughly around 946. So it was probably awkwardly waiting for that manufacturing report, and then it popped. And then looking at the Mag 7, it popped and just kind of going sideways. So not bearish, but also arguably not that bullish either, if you will. It's just kind of doing its own thing, you know. It's just doing its own thing. Let me see if I could do this. All right. I'm just making sure we're not missing any news. Let me go back to this so you can see some of the movement. Obviously, if you're trading this, best of luck. For me, I'm just attempting to wait. I don't necessarily feel so lucky that I can front run the data drop that comes out in less than 5 minutes. If you can, hey, maybe you're going to be on the right side of it. This pump was enough for the 5 minute to attempt going bullish, but it did get smacked. Same thing with the 10 minute. On the NASDAQ, similar situation. The 5 minute tried to go bullish, not enough follow through. Same thing with the 10 minute. So I would love for us to take out these recent highs that we saw around 950, just because that means not only are we taking on a recent high, not only is my account just ripping, but it means we are on the bullish side of the EMA cloud. So just kind of waiting for that. Just kind of waiting for that. Nothing too crazy. Calm, cool, collected. Calm, cool. Tesla's going flat. I'm not seeing any major news right now. Actually, we're going to open up two of these just so we can easily go back and forth. Okay, this is the point in the show where I give away all the dirty little secrets of what the market is about to do today. So please listen up. I know recently we've been using the WAD, the Wheel of Destiny, and as always, we know historically that is a 100% accurate indicator, and there is one other indicator that we have at our disposal to fully know what's happening in the market on any given day. On any given day, 100% accuracy, and I was able to find it. We are going to be ripping out a Cats Rule the Earth tarot card to guide us through the metaphysical universe that is the stock market. So let me give this a good shuffle here. I want to show you guys that I'm not cheating. I'm not looking. I'm not cheating. I'm not doing any of that because we just need the market gods to really bring us on this journey today. So I'm showing it. I'm not trying to peek. And then here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop it in 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, we're going to put that down. Abracadabra, alakazam. Oh, mighty market lords, show us your humble shepherds, your intentions for the market today. Oh my God. Folks, we pulled the 6 of Cups. This is not a test run. Here we are, 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes into the day, and we pulled the 6 of Cups. Now we should probably find out what the fuck the 6 of Cups is. Let's see what the 6 of Cups is. How screwed are we today? How much money are we making today? Where is it? The 6 of Cups. What is it? The positive happenings signaled by this card stem from the past. Perhaps an old friendship has been rekindled. Our old friendship with the Bulls. A teenage sweetheart has reappeared. Well, that's BS. None of us have ever been in a stable relationship. Or you have returned to your hometown. This card may also indicate the pleasure to be had in childish pursuits or in spending time with children. Well, I think like many of the times when we are looking at these cards, we have to read in between the lines. So it's telling us that we will be able to return to our homeland. Well, not long ago, we were in that neon green bullish utopia. Maybe this is our official call to return home, to get back into that bull wave in the market. Our childish pursuits. Maybe this entire concept, perhaps, perchance, of not being a degenerate, of attempting to be more reasonable with the market. Maybe that is inaccurate. Maybe that is no longer the best play to make money. Maybe we have to return to, once again, childish pursuits of just completely letting it rip. Like I said, I'm not necessarily saying I am the best in the world at interpreting tarot cards for the market, but I would say I am a high level black belt degree tarot card trader. So I'm not saying that this is guaranteed, but I am kind of saying that this is 100% guaranteed. So keep that in mind. definitely keep that in mind. And obviously, it was the perfect timing because we're about to get the next manufacturing number right now. Came in at, whoa, there it goes. Dude, these tarot cards do not miss. I see you guys laughing at me. I see you guys questioning if I'm going a little bit crazy. And I see you guys, your recency bias of the market going down. What is Matt doing? How is Matt interpreting this tarot card to say that the market's going to go up? Literally seconds after the fact, we just got a God candle exploding to the upside. And you guys, it's just, how much do you have to see this time and time again? How often do I have to walk on water before you're like, this guy's onto something? This guy is absolutely onto something. Dude, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what else I could possibly do. This is all done in real time. There's no Monday morning quarterbacking. I pull the card, I interpret it. Seconds later, it becomes real. What else could you guys possibly want out of me? I don't even know. I don't even know what else I could possibly do in this show to convince you guys that this is the real deal. This is the real deal. And Jay on Coke? Come on now. This is a kid-friendly show. This is a kid-friendly show. All right, hang on. Let me see what other data we have coming in right about now. What other data do we have? What other data? The data. Where are we at? Yes, we need that. Yes, we also need this. Okay, brothers and brotherettes, where are we at? Kind of indecisive. Let me get rid of this. We are, from a structural, I guess, standpoint, we try to get this breakout, ended up being a fake out breakout after hitting a new high. Then we dove right down to support, and as of now, it's acting as support. The data flash got us to once again get another potential fake out breakout. So what I'm looking for is for this to either crater through the intraday low and then test 5,600, or on the other side, the bullish side, I'm looking for it to push 5,620, which would get us potentially the third test of this trend line breakout. But it's because of the craziness at 9:45. It's because of the craziness at 10 a.m. With the market's reaction to those manufacturing reports. It's exactly why I'm personally just waiting. I'm waiting to see what the hell is going on in the market. Looks as if we are below VWAP. We are below the volume weighted average price. Do I have this set up properly on the day? I do. I think I do. All right, so I wouldn't mind, see right where the wick went to, maybe not all the time, but I find it interesting that we perfectly wicked up right to VWAP, which also happened to be 950. Also interesting that we got shot down right below 20,000, key technical level, key psychological level, all that good jazz, obviously. All that good jazz. Patience. Calm, cool. Ooh, that's getting a little bit of a breakout right there. A little bit of a breakout. How's the flow looking? So the SPY popped, dropped, now sideways. Mag 7 just kind of indecisive. 63. That's 50 points above. I'm just running some math. In the back of the old noggin to decide what is a smart play and what is not. Obviously, going long right now, it's the minimum risk. But then in terms of like, is this actually a bullish reversal? Well, maybe we're breaking out right there. Maybe. I suppose another trend line you could watch is actually that data print high, just to see if the market does in fact want to go above that data print, as in we're legit bullish. So that's one thing I'll be watching out of the gate. Can we get above 560.92? Can we get above 483? Can we get these trend line breakouts? Or is this just a lower high that's about to get clocked? Honestly, it could break either way. I wouldn't say that the options flow is necessarily decisive at this exact moment. I wouldn't say it's indecisive. I would just say you got to just wait. Just a little bit of patience. Girl math. It feels like I am trying to apparently do girl math to convince myself if I should or shouldn't be trading. But right now, we're just not seeing a nice trend quite yet. But who knows? For all I know, it might just be a shitty, choppy day. That is obviously 100% possible. Or on the flip side of things, maybe once we get this out of our system here, maybe we are going to get some really nice follow through. 100% possible. 100% we're going for the trend line. We're going for the trend line. All right. It's a little early, but I'm going to take a crack at it.
Order submitted.
Not my favorite setup. Not my favorite setup, which is exactly why right away I minimize my risk. And honestly, on a push of VWAP, I'm front running it just to try to get in with a slightly better fill, literally just a technical breakout buy, praying for a continuation, praying we don't get smacked at VWAP. So what I'll probably be doing, you know what? Let's just minimize the risk even more. I'm in at 33, risking 97. So it's about a 36-point risk, which is in the realm of $700. So my max risk right now is $700. And it's a little dangerous. I do want to be very clear here because I'm going long at a potential rejection of this recent high and also at VWAP. So maybe we get the breakthrough. I didn't want it to go too far without me because if it kept going, then my risk is just larger because I would still inherently have to risk a recent low. So I'm willing to take on the lower accuracy for lessening my risk. And it looks like I might have picked properly today. And you know what I could do to be even more shrewd with this is on this breakout of whatever this high is, 63. Honestly, I could just move my stop up and just do a lotto ticket play. Fix my screen? Oh, sorry. Sue me. My bad. Jeez. You guys are so angry at me. You guys are angry people. Angry people. Jesus. Sorry. I'm not perfect. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I thought I was on a different screen. My apology. God, you guys got so angry. Put down your pitchforks. Put down your torches. It's our it's good, man. We don't have to be so aggressive here. We don't have to be so aggressive. Geez, a lot of anger right away. You guys got so angry about it. So angry about it. All right, where are we gonna go? All right, maybe we'll get lucky. Like I said, for a second, I thought I was going to get lucky. Now it's looking a little bit more suspect. Maybe it is a fake out breakout. I gave myself a shot. We came to a line. When it comes to these lines, either you break out or you don't. Like I said, it's about flipping a quarter. And when you're flipping a quarter, the way you're profitable in the long run is your risk versus your reward. Speaking of that, if I'm taking this kind of a risk, I should probably be going for more reward. 85, 84. I say that I'm already moving that when I'm about to get clocked. Oh, this is painful. Painful day is about to clock me right now. What's the flow looking
Order
like?
canceled.
Yeah, it just clocked me out. Not happy with that. I probably VWAP rejection. Literally a classic VWAP rejection. Went right up there. When you get to it, sometimes you get smacked, sometimes you don't. Knowing my luck, this will be the bottom and we bounce off of here, and I'm going to have to get back in anyway. As soon as this can stop dipping, the mags have been trying to hold a little bit more. Like I said, knowing my luck, it'll perfectly wick me out. It'll be a double bottom here. I probably could have moved it a little bit more, and it's going to just force me right back in. That's how it goes. I should have moved it down by a couple of points. Where are we at here? 5 minute try to go, 10 minute try to go once again. Maybe where are we at? We're at 18. See, I try to play this, but look at fake out breakout number 1, fake out breakout number 2, and apparently fake out breakout number 3. I didn't think it was going to trick us 3 separate times today, but here we are. Are the odds better if I flip $50 instead? Probably. Probably. MACD confused until something pushes. Remember, MACD is just a basic computation on the previous bars. It doesn't necessarily have like forward-looking predictive capabilities. Same thing with RSI. All those, if you look at the indicators and the math of how those indicators are actually like used and computed and whatnot, it is literally just looking at whatever your look back range is, commonly 10, 14, 20. It's literally just doing the math on those recent bars. So I would be, I would offer a word of caution of trying to use the previous bars as an indication of what's about to happen. By definition, as a retail trader, the major thing you have at your disposal that is forward looking is the options market. Because those are all expiring in the future. Well, if you're using an indicator like RSI, MACD, any of those things, it's literally just a basic math computation on the previous bars. Now, I'm not saying that those are bad. I'm just saying know the limitation of the tool that you're using, and most likely you're going to be wanting to use it in conjunction with something else. So I find most of the time the best way for me to describe this is using I suppose your technical setup, whether indicators or whatever, whether it's just highs and lows or actual technical indicators, RSI or that type of stuff, to be a way to measure your risk. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get in now, maybe like the flow in options, and you're going to admit you're wrong if you're violating a certain level, whether on RSI, MACD, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not saying to not use it. I'm just saying definitely know the extent of where it is appropriate to use it. But I see people using basic indicators like RSI and MACD, and they seemingly behave as if it's the end all be all of like the MACD cross, it has to go up, it has to go down, like that type of stuff. I just don't buy it. When you have well-known indicators such as the RSI, such as the MACD or anything like that, at this point in time, if there were an edge to be found with just that indicator that was quote unquote printing free money, you would very legitimately have that data mined away. So like, it's just, they're not bad. Just know the extent to which you should be using them. And we are drifting down. All right. Well, if I moved my stop to the other level, I would have just got clocked now anyway. So that saved me another $200. So I, in all reality, can't complain. I do feel strongly that this is going to pop. It's just more so of a question of when. Maybe, just maybe, visibility. The market might want to get this downside gap fill first. We have a downside gap fill to 5582. There is a shot that the market wants to clean that up, and then we bounce off of it and might want to bounce off of 5,600. So I'm watching 5,610. I'm watching 5,600. I'm watching 5,582. Support, technical gap fill support, open interest support, and psychological level. And then a little bit of some options, open interest here, but more so of just a technical gap fill. So I was trying to play this breakout just in case it came something. But remember, when I get into these plays, I know I have about a 50-50 shot. It's more of that risk management. So my risk got hit, which is going to get hit on about half of them, maybe a little bit less than half of them, because I am aggressive with my stop movement. So even if it goes a little bit in my favor, I'm generally moving my stop up. But if you are holding any trader or especially yourself to this idea of like, no, you just have to be right all the time, folks, that's not trading. Like, you are never, ever, ever going to be able to get to that stage of making money on every single trade. Is it possible to be continually net profitable in the long term? Of course, but that involves quite a bit. All right, I guess I'll take a stab at it here. How much of a risk is that? 14, 20, 35. That's another 600 points. That's not so bad. Let me double check before I get in on this one. I would like to increase my opportunity of being right by looking at the flow. It's starting to swing back around. But is it just going to get smacked at VWAP? If I do that, what's my risk? 80. I could ruse 65, but it's already ramping so much that my risk is starting to get a little bit more steep. I'd feel more comfortable about this if we were bouncing off of VWAP, and unfortunately we're getting rejected at VWAP 1, 2, 3 times. Is the fourth time the charm? I'm just waiting for the gap fill. The gap might not fill. This is a news-driven gap up, specifically the successful reports of Meta and Microsoft, and also on top of that, the Russian mineral deal. So gap fills are really popular plays, but remember the odds of a gap getting filled when it's news-driven, they do materially decrease. Inverse head and shoulder SPY 1 minute. Who cares? He is speaking at 11. Yeah, but it's some sort of like religious thing. It's not like a tariff talk or anything like that. If you're referring to Trump speaking at 11. Which way is this going to go? All right, I'm going to take another stab at it. Once again, not my favorite play. This is probably a C. I can't even say C plus setup. I'm not the biggest fan of trading in the direction on the wrong side of VWAP, but I'm just wondering if we can now, how many ever times later, actually break VWAP. All right, lessening my risk a little bit. I'm giving this one a bit more room to run. Hang on, let me do some quick math here. 936. All right, I just want to know the max I can go for. This is not my profit target. I just want to know that I cannot exceed this particular bound on the day. I cannot exceed that particular bound. But there is a very, very high chance that I actually end up getting out by my trailing stop loss getting hit. So, yeah, obviously you could look at this and right back here say, yo, why didn't you just hold that position? Because obviously if I just white knuckled it, I would already be back in the green and I wouldn't have this particular loss of $750. But in reality, if I didn't use this where it got me out at 96, I definitely would have been clocked here at 90. So no matter how you slice it, I was going to get knocked out. And even I was confident, I told you guys, we pulled the tarot card, I did the breakdown of why I'm confident that we're actually going to get going. You just can't be 100% guaranteed. So because you can't be 100% guaranteed, there's certain levels where you just have to throw in the towel because there is that small percentage off chance that what if this was a breakdown and a waterfall and I just completely blow out my account? So even though I was confident in the recovery, and yes, in hindsight, you could be looking at this right now and saying, dude, you could have held. Yeah, I could have held. And obviously in hindsight, I wish I did. But there is that non-0% chance that this breakdown could have led to a legit sell-off. So because of that, it's just the game of protecting yourself. And when you protect yourself time and time again, before you know it, you're already making back what you lost. It's not going to take much of a move. In fact, we're almost, by the time it takes out this blue candle, I'll basically be back to break even on the day. So that's what happens. And if we could take this out, I'll probably go to either this wick or maybe I'll just go to break even since I already do have one loss on the day and I don't really necessarily feel like stacking these up. But as you guys have seen, pretty much every single day this week, there's been quite a bit of volatile whipsaw right around VWAP. So I don't necessarily want to play it absurdly tight because we just are continually seeing these large range wicks above and below the VWAP level, the volume weighted average price, where it's just commonly thought to be bullish above and bearish below. So I'm going to give it a little bit of room to breathe. Here. All right. Pretty much playing that trend line breakout right below VWAP, which is why I give it a C plus setup, but definitely not in the B or the A category. This would be a B tier setup if not only we had the technical breakout, but also, just to explain a little bit of the difference, if we saw the options flow ripping like no other. Right now, the options flow is granted, it is not bearish, but it's not bullish either. So I'm going to be hesitant about that. So when it's realistically possible for me, I will be moving that stop to break even. But right now, just because we're at VWAP, I need to give it a little bit of room. And I would like us to take out 19,970. When we take out 19,970, I'll feel a bit more confident that all right, like we might have this legit follow through, but you could see we're now just dancing around at that high from the data print at 10 a.m. So I'm hoping that this higher low between 9:59 and 10:12 is indicative of the fact that the bulls are getting more aggressive, because instead of buying all the way down here at 5:59, they now decided to step in at 5:59.50. Think about that, what that psychologically means. It means the bulls are being more aggressive because they're buying at a higher value, paying a little bit more of a premium. So I'm basically playing the trend line breakout from this next high. Basically, come on. Basically playing this trend line breakout and the higher low. Like I said, it is not my favorite setup because I don't see that like large aggression upswing in the delta in the options flow, which is why I'm being a bit hesitant, but I still kind of like my odds. I like that the 5-minute and the 10-minute are going back bullish, or at least they are in the S&P 500. It seems as if NQ is also wanting to test that. So see this shelf right here where we opened, where we closed, and where we opened at 19,970. That's why it's this shelf right here. The open, the close, and the open at 19,971. I'm looking for that level to be tested, and then that's what I'm going to be using for my, to go into lotto ticket mode, where I could just move my stop all the way up and just kind of see if we can let it ride. And oddly enough, if we hit that level, that would be roughly, actually, I'd be slightly green at that point. I would be slightly green if I get out right there on the day. So this is my second trade of the day. But remember, about 1 in 5 of my trades are losers, 1 in 5 of my trades are winners, and 3 in 5 of my trades are break-even trades where it's just net. Like I'm not making money, I'm not losing money. That is generally the breakdown of how I trade. And like I said, is it going to go or not? Roughly kind of 50-50. But as soon as it goes a little bit in my favor, attempting to follow the trend, I aggressively move the stop to break even. And that's why more often than not, I'm just stopped out for break even on the trade. But I do it because every so often you catch that big winner that pays not only for all your little paper cuts, but the 1 unit losses, and you go and go and go. All right, let me move this up to the level I care about. Like I said, 71. 71 I just find to be important. We're seeing it on the 10-minute chart. I'm almost roughly back to break even. We are holding above VWAP. We got that nice trend line breakout. All right, those are some key upward levels. Let me get rid of this just to clean up the chart a bit. Get rid of this to clean up the chart. Come on, tag 71. Tag 71, tag 71. We almost got there. We hit 68, 69, roughly. Patience. It's not going to happen necessarily right away. It is really, really fun. It is really fun when you get into a trade and it just explodes in your favor. But more often than not, you just have to have kind of a bit of patience and just wait. You've become much more informative and experienced since the AMC days. Very cool to see. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say, Chris. Come on. I would prefer, I know the odds are high of another retest of VWAP, but I'd prefer that we do the low odds situation and just explode from here. Come on. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Break even. Worst case scenario is nothing. Nada, zilch, goose egg. I protected myself. We're good to go. Now, I just have a freebie. We're fishing, folks. We're fishing with no downside. If it rips, if I can catch a big runner on the day, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And unfortunately, if this is a fake out and it comes back down, I am risking nothing. This is my favorite way to engage in these sim-to-funding companies. And in all reality, as a day trader, I think this is the best way to do it, just because you don't know where things are going. You have to be humble enough in this game to admit what you don't know. And there's a lot of unknowns, a lot of unknown variables when it comes to trading. So when it goes a little bit of my favor, which I measure off of a multiple of ATR, I go to break even. On this case, it was more of a technical breakout paired with an ATR movement. And now I just have a freebie. I have a freebie. A lot of these freebie plays are stopped out for break even. But every so often, you catch that big trend where, as you can see, you can make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. So We'll see if it goes. I don't know if it's going to go. I already gave you these levels. I told you my next target is all the way up here, so I don't necessarily see any reason to get out before there. We have a little bit of this intraday level of where we opened at 5626, but the fact that we hit support, had a higher low, and then we broke through the intraday high, my next target's all the way up here. Is anyone else noticing how we perfectly hit these levels that I called out to you before the market opened? Folks, this was called out before the market opened on stream, and it was called out an hour before the market got going in the Discord. Every single morning, there's a channel that's Matt's Coffee Thoughts, and I do an extensive breakdown of what the technical setup is and what the option setup is for the S&P 500, and that's exactly where I lay out these levels that I also give to all of you guys paying attention to the show, but I more so give an exact trading plan breakdown to everyone in the Discord. Everyone in the Discord will admit that it is in there, and like, look how scary accurate those are. And if you think that this is Harry Potter, magic, mumbo jumbo, in a certain way, you're right. But then I should also just let you guys know that this is not rocket surgery. As soon as you put in that effort to really understand how to read the option chain, using the appropriate tools, right here, by the way, SPY popping. Also the Mag 7 trending up. As soon as you learn how to understand the option chain and understand the gamma, theta, and delta influences, a little bit of charm here and there, you too can just lay out those levels. So that is by far like the major topic of conversation within the Discord, is kind of the proper mathematical interpretation of that stuff. And from there, you could see, look at support, higher, low, pop. You saw me try to take this long because I saw it bouncing off. It pulled back a little bit too much for my liking. I didn't like that it broke this trend line. And then on the attempt again, I went in for the second one. And that's exactly how I'm already back to break even on the day. So yes, I had one losing trade of $750, but my current position is up 900. So I am up net on the day. And ideally, hang on, I'm in at 36, 800. 40 points, 76. What I'm going to do is on a push of probably 20,020, I will be moving my stop up to 76, which means even if it pulls back, I'm net break even on the day. Yes, it is one thing if my massive reach target gets hit all the way up here, that's awesome. But most of the time, it's me just moving my stop up because I want to ride the trend as much as I possibly can. There are certain environments where I have measured profit targets, and that's more of when everything's choppy and messy. But right now, the way the day is setting up is we actually might have that trending day. Look at price, higher highs, higher lows. Price is now, ever since 10 a.m., similar to yesterday, trending nicely. The 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, and the 4-hour are all bullish. The 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, and the 4-hour are all bullish. So momentum is bullish, price structure is bullish, and finally, starting at 10:12, I'm seeing a nice rip in the Mag 7, and also starting at 10:21, I'm seeing a nice rip in the SPY. So at first, today was up until about 10:10. It was more that choppy day where I might have been using more of a measured profit target, but right now things are improving enough to the degree that I want to see this test at 20,000. I want to see the S&P 500 index test my next level of 45. There's people positioned at 40, 45, and 50, which is exactly why I just put this right here at 45, but it is technically plus or minus 5 points. So I'm going to be setting an alert there just so we know if that's getting hit. And that's the plan. I don't know if there's going to be a big trend day. I'm giving myself an opportunity to ride the big trend day if there is a big trend day. But in reality, you never know the next bar. The next bar might be a God green candle. It might be a dagger blood red bearish candle, or it might just be a sideways nothing candle. Be humble enough to admit that you don't know what's about to happen, which will put the emphasis on you and your downside protection, which is just to drive this point home. That's exactly why I already put my stop at break even. I already put my stop at break even, as in when you're in a hole, I was in a hole of $800 per account. I have 25 accounts, so I was down 20 grand. When you're in a hole, the best thing you can do is stop fucking digging. That is one of the best tips I can give for you folks. If you find yourself in a hole, step one, stop digging. Stop digging, stop digging, stop digging. I'm actually up net 500 right now. Okay, I do want to move my stop up to 75, maybe 67. I do like this zone. 880. So where this is, let me delete these ones. Based on my current position and also my current locked in loss, this horizontal line is my break even on the day. So for all of the accounts on the day, if we're above that, I am net green. If we're below it, I am net red. So ideally we get enough of a push, which I am looking for a push probably to right there. This kind of reach target. Once we hit that, I'll probably move my stop there just so I get myself out of the hole on the day. So I'm looking for a continuation, a nice follow through, and I'm by no means surprised that we're struggling a little bit at 20,000. That is a massive technical level, a massive psychological level. If anyone in chat is surprised that we're battling it out here at 20,000, don't be. It is that important of a level. So if we can actually get above and hold it, that's exactly when I'll move my stop to the break even on the day. And then I'm really playing. I'm already playing with a lotto ticket, as in no risk on the current trade, but then I'll be playing with a lotto ticket in terms of no risk on the entire accounts for all the trades on the day. If I could just get that push and fall through, and I'll move that stop up. I'll move that stop up. Someone said Tesla's taken off. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How are my swing positions looking? This is another reason you should get into the Discord. Up a nice 40 grand. So I'm up $40,000 on the NASDAQ. I'm up $31,000 on the S&P 500. I'm up $6,000 on Broadcom. And I'm currently down $3,000 on Tesla. As you can see, I'm playing the 310. So if Tesla keeps going, I might be able to actually get back to break even. So a net down 22, but on the day, I've gained 22% back. So Tesla's actually my only red swing position. I'm up 40%, 93%, and 133. So these two plays alone, I'm up 70 grand. Look at right here, real time, 40K, 30K, 6K. So between these three, a nice 75K gain there. And as always, I'm just here to ride the trend. I don't know what the next bar is going to be. If the trend continues, great. But I do find it's really, really common in the world of retail trading for people to just see numbers and they're like, you're green, you got to get out. You're green, you got to get out. Well, why? Like, what if the trend continues? What if? Folks, we already know that we're going to take losses. The only way to keep your head above water to pay off those losses is when you're finally in that good trade, when you're finally doing what you need to do. Finally, well, like you should ride it. It's hard enough to catch a good winning trade. And then when you do, when the stars align for you in your trade, why would you possibly get out early? Like if the trend is there, if anything, you cut your losses quick. And then when you have a nice runner, you sit there and if anything, you add to those winners. There's been quite a few studies done on this, but averaging down on your losers is generally not the mathematical thing you should be doing. If you were to add to positions, we just have seen it time and time again. What you do is actually add to your winners to make more and more money on the thing that's already going in your favor. But oddly enough, in the retail space, seemingly people have it switched. Seemingly within the retail space, people try to average down on their losers in the hopes that it reverses right there and then it gets them back to break even. And when they have a runner, they don't add to it. They take it off too early and they're like inherently just doing the opposite of what they should do. Matt, this is my first day trading options. Lost every penny. Is that normal? For your first day? No. I would say for whatever cosmic irony reason, when people trade options their first day, they seem to have an uncanny amount of luck to the point that I wish there were a service that sold the first trades of completely brand new newbie traders. Because for whatever reason, when people first get into the game of trading, they start with like the highest level of luck and it makes no sense to me. So would I say that's normal? I don't think so. I've seen it time and time again. People's first trades are generally amazingly good. And it's always with the commentary of like, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, what does this mean? Need your opinion. Should upgrade my account, which is 150K, and take profit from pro account to pro plus. That's up to you. I don't think that there's necessarily a perfect reasoning because yes, when you do it, you're going to get the benefit of instead of the 80-20 split, you'll get the 90-10 split, which is obviously awesome, but you're also restarting. And I find that the hardest thing for all these accounts is building out your initial buffer. So basically it's like, how confident are you in either your skill set or pure unbridled luck to build out your buffer once again. Like the buffer is the hard part. So I don't think there's a perfect answer for it. I think it's up to you. I think it's from person to person okay, do you want to go through the buffer build out phase again? Hey, Matt, all calls on AMC. Good trade. Oh, probably the best trade. When is this one? I would say, I thought you guys were already doing that. I thought you guys, wait, you're in here and you didn't already fully tilt your account into YOLO 0 DTE AMC calls? Sorry, I thought you guys wanted money. I thought that was like a kind of a prereq. I thought we already all started there. Okay, we are once again touching 20,000. I could use that. Do I want to do it right now? Because not only is that the recent low, but that is just magically the exact level that gets me break even on the day. So we pumped up there. We pulled back. Dude, this is setting up, dude. I might be river in the market today. I was dealt not the best hand. We looked at the flop. The flop is looking good. We got the turn card. The turn card at first, a little bit questionable, but we might be setting up to river the market here. And someone's betting into me, and they're betting into me heavy right now. But I don't know if I didn't necessarily flop the nuts here, but I turned the nuts, and we're about to river a full sack here. I'm about to river the market, dude, and they don't even know. Dude, they're coming at me thinking that their trips are a good hand, and they don't realize I have them right where I want them. They don't realize I have them right where I want them. All right, I'm undershooting it by 10 points for just now because I didn't like that it got so quickly smacked there. I'd prefer that it sits on top. So I'm moving it up just for whatever, for posterity's sake. But if we can actually hold it up, then I'll move it up. So I'm instead of using that low, I'm kind of using this other low. So for me, if it were to puke right now and hit that, I would be down net 150 on the day. But the current position's looking good. I mean, I'm up 1.7K on all 25 accounts right now. Nut flop sack. That's where I'm at. Brian Matthewson, take it. Wow, I've never been given that advice before. I've never in my life of trading ever been given the advice of, hey, dude, you're up, just take it. I appreciate you sharing that. I've never thought of it that way, that, oh, I'm up and I'm seeing green. Maybe I should just take it. Folks, remember, hallmark message of this show is everything is high risk if you're a pussy. All right. Candle is undecided. Just take the profit. Honestly, though, I see what you're saying, Brian. And to be fair, your advice of taking my profit, it's actually not the most common advice I get. It's up there. I would say it's top 3, top 5. The most common advice that the peanut gallery likes to give me when I'm actively trading is more along the lines of, why don't you just buy at the bottom and sell at the top? It's this idea of like, why not just buy there, sell there, buy there, sell there, like just, which is also very useful advice. It's also very, very useful advice of just why not play it absolutely perfectly. Bullish on this bar, bullish on this bar, bullish on this bar, bearish on this bar, bearish on this bar, undecided on this bar. And in all reality, I should be trading that way. Like, if I were you guys, I would also be holding me to the standard of why are you not trading perfectly? Like every single bar, regardless of time frame, it doesn't matter if it's the 1 tick bar, it doesn't matter if it's the monthly bar. You should be holding streamers to that level right there of trade every single bar perfectly. I prefer to buy at the top. That's also an interesting strategy that I don't think is really discussed enough. I think more. Oh, hang on. Whoa. Okay, folks, I'm noticing we're in a bit of a pickle, brother. There is massive fucking resistance coming in at 5,650. Like gargantuan. I'm talking mandingo size resistance at 50. I don't know what to do. I'm panicking a little bit. Like we're fucking seeing, I'm looking at it right now. The market gods, they're over here on my other computer, and they are, the fucking Great Wall of China resistance is being built up here at 50. I didn't realize that. Show us? That's what the OnlyFans is for. But you guys all, like, I'm telling you, fucking dude, like, I didn't know China was in the business of evading this trade war by building a second Great Wall, but apparently they are, and they're doing it right here. Right. Should I make it red to make it clear? Which means that I'm kind of playing with fire because I need it all the way up here to hit my max profit target. All right. We did take that out. All right. I moved it up. So no matter what, I'm not losing money on the day. Oop, why is that moving? Why is that jumping so much? All right, so my stop is at a point where it'll at least pay off this loss. So I'm not losing money on the day. But I am now concerned. I am now concerned. All right, I'm going to move this up to 50 for now just so I can hear some sort of audio if we actually crack that level. Oh, this is not... That does not bring me pleasure. That does not bring... Tesla's looking good. It's trying to go. But folks, I mean, that's a strong Mag 7 flow. S&P 500, we're just not seeing bets coming in above it. All of the calls today are focusing on 5,650. And that's just as of now. We might hit it and maybe new bets come in and we pump above it. But literally as of 1041, 1042, this is where everyone is clustering their bets in the options market. And on top of that, we are above the 2 standard deviation move. We're above this yellow line, which is the 2 standard deviation price movement, which just means it is statistically rare. Oh, should I be moving my stop up? I'm up about 25K net. I'm up 27.5K net. I'm up 28K net. Dude, I could just call it today and take my money and then just survive. But I'm also $900 away from being able to get a $40,000 payout. It's the old risk versus reward. The old razzle dazzle. Do I think that this could go up to 21,000? Like, if it gets up to right here, this zone, I'm like, your boy gets a 40K payout. And it's been a hot minute since I've gotten a max payout. It's been one hot minute. Oh, I haven't had the glory of a max payout in about 2 months. Is today the day? Is today the day to be pushing my luck? I don't know. I mean, the chance of us getting smacked here at 50 is pretty freaking high. As of right now, we're getting smacked at 47. I mean, it could easily pull back a good 10 points. Do I want to stomach that? I mean, we're already cracking below the 2. Oh, how much risk do I want? Do I want to go for it? I should clarify, I'm not actually taking on risk. My stop's at a level where I'm just break even on the day. But like every $1,000 is $1,000 closer to what I need for that payout. Oh, are you going for the 2.5 mil record? I'm at the point where I'm going for a fucking payout, man. I was on a great run from the start of December to the start of March. And then from mid-March to this moment, I've been getting my ass handed to me. I keep coming close to these, like, to putting together what I need to put together to be successful. And it's just far enough away that I end up like this. Like, I was legitimately close. I only needed it to pump a little bit more, and then I would be at it. And then it's these environments where I'm like, oh, like, it's looking good, like, just ride it. And then I somehow get screwed in one way or another. And most of it just comes down to a high amount of personal stupidity and degeneracy, if you will. This doesn't bother me too much. Of course, I would prefer it stay on top of this EMA the way it just like wicked and bounced. It doesn't bother me too much. I'll become a little bit worried if we do crack 20,000. We got rejected there. We broke out. We retested it. We bounced. If it fails at this 20,000 or these wicks at 20,005, I'll have to really reconsider some of my life choices. But maybe the market gods will be kind to me today, and like they're not even going to test my resolve. Maybe we just bounce right out of here, we rip above it, and we just take it out and go. I should probably be checking the options flow. Please be careful about this level. It's becoming legitimate resistance. The Mag 7 ripping nicely, going a little bit flat recently, but that's a nice pump from 10-12. Looking at the S&P 500, 10-13, 10-20, we ripped. We just had some profit taking right here. The orange and the green are the calls dropping. That is people profit taking right before this level. And really, they did profit taking at that first level I had laid out. That was a clear level before the market opened. But now that we're seeing some active trading, they're starting to come in a bit higher, which is making me a bit optimistic. So for the first 45 minutes of the day, no one was really making bets above this level, but we are now trending up, and it's kind of closer to 60 or 70. So I don't know. I'm still nervous about this. I want to see that test. I want to see how the market reacts. And ideally, these fucking pussies who are taking their profit on calls stop and they like grow a pair and actually try to let this ride and don't ruin the fun for the rest of us. But I don't know what I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not their mom. I don't know how they were raised, but what I can tell you is these people right here that took their profits on calls, it's a bunch of participation trophy pussies. These people who took their profits right before are the same people who, like, moms demanded they got a participation trophy in Little League, even though they were the fucking 5th tier pitcher and rode the bench for the entire season at the age of 8. It doesn't matter. Their mom still thinks they deserve a trophy. And that's why we get this behavior in the market. We get this behavior in the market because we are raising our kids inappropriately. Like 100%. It's all these guys who do, life's fine, it's going to be good, like we're all successful, we're all winners. Those are the same people who just took their profits there and they're ruining it for the rest of us. Like, I'm going to be honest. It's just good. I hope they get out and they don't get more money. Good. Sit on the bench again. Like, them as a 30-year-old in Wall Street right now, it's no different than when they were 10-year-olds on the Little League diamond. They were pussies then. They're pussies now. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I'm not their mom. I'm not their dad. I didn't raise them. I didn't make any of those decisions. But what I can tell you is they were raised in the wrong way. They were clearly raised in the wrong way. Matt uses the stair stepper. He rode the bench. Yeah, I did. I never told you guys this, but when I played Little League, as every, I guess, kid does growing up, I remember it must have been 4th grade. So what was I, 9 years old? I was playing against this other team, and on the team was my teacher's kid, like just whatever, my 4th grade teacher. And I fucking pegged that kid so many times on accident, because what 8 or 9-year-old is actually good at pitching, that I remember the next day my teacher yelled at me. The kid's mom yelled at me because he came home with like 4 different welts. And I have to admit, from her vantage point, it probably looked like I was intentionally abusing her kid. But I'll be honest with you guys, I really wasn't. I was just bad at pitching. But that kid came home. She just yelled at me. Like, she literally started the class day like, my kid has so many welts. Like, dude, I just lit that kid up. Lit him up. and it was all unintentional. I was trying to throw strikes. I just had no accuracy control, and that kid, I just pegged him over and over and over. Jesus. This is a really disturbing metaphor. It's a metaphor for life. Sometimes you're pegging your teacher's kid, and other times you're not. I mean, arguably, there's two types of people in this world. There's people who peg their teacher's kid, and then there's people who don't. You're either in one bucket or the other. I don't make the rules, but those two buckets fully encompass everyone in this world. And I don't think any of you could even disagree with that. I think that's pretty much just the science of the situation. Little sus, bro. It was. She thought it was sus too. Kohrs never had a making of a varsity athlete. I played varsity soccer. I was a soccer player when I actually got to high school, but I did not have the raw talent to really go to the next level. I also I grew up in rural PA, so it's not like you have good coaches. So I also had horrible coaching. So when you have a kid that has like normal ass genetics and horrible coaching, yeah, I'm not going to go fucking anywhere. Like, I'm not going to go anywhere playing sports. My only advantage is I have a stocky build. So when I do continuously go to the gym, I can add muscle pretty quickly. That's my only advantage. But I'm not naturally fast. I ran track. I was more of like a mid-distance runner. Sometimes I ran the 2 mile, but most of the time I was running either the 800 or the mile. I didn't have that natural fast speed that some people do. And then also by the time you get to the higher levels in track, when you're 5'10", the way I am, I'm not going to be beating these like 6'4" distance runners whose gait is like double the size of mine. So I don't know. I just did all that recreationally but I am a pro stair stepper. I would say I am a stair stepper. Fastest time in the mile, just above 5 minutes was my best ever. Maybe something like 5:15. It's fine for the normal population. It's good. But in high school, I ran against people who literally ran in the mid 4s. There are high schoolers in this world that run a low 4. There are kids who are under the age of 18 in America right now running a mile in just over 4 minutes. So like, to the average population, if you could run a 5-minute mile, that's good. But in a competitive sense, in the high school setting, it is still not good. Like, I ran against people who literally ran an entire minute faster than me. And I was like, I don't know. To the normal U.S. population, yeah, I'm going to beat the average person. But to an actual athlete who knows how to run, they're going to kick my ass. I run marathons. I'm a shorter fella. Just ran the Boston on Monday. You can do it if you do stair stepping. Dude, congrats to you. My issue with running is by the time I get to 5 or 6 miles, I don't think I have the right shoes because I lose feeling in my feet. They go all pins and needly on me, and I just completely lose feeling. And then before you know it, I sound and look like a duck, and I'm just slapping my feet off the ground. I assume that's a shoe issue. I think I need to get my feet looked at, or maybe size, or I don't know, maybe I have arch issues or something. But by the time I get to about 5 or 6 miles, I literally just lose feeling in my feet. So if that's ever happened to anyone in here and you figure out a solution to it, I would love to know, because I think it'd actually be cool to run a marathon. I definitely have the cardiovascular endurance to pull it off, but from a skeletal or tendon or a muscular standpoint, I literally just lose feeling in my feet. Poor technique. If I had $1 for every single time my wife told me that, I would not have to trade. I get numbness. Wear looser pants. I've even actually tried to go no pants, and oddly enough, my feet still went numb, and I actually also got arrested. So, yeah. If your shoes are too tight on top, they'll go numb. Maybe it's that. Called not being a sissy. I wish, dude. Diarrhea to lose weight could be is a bold technique. That is definitely a bold technique. Turned out I'm really good at it. Probably not competitive level due to my age, but I picked it up instantly. My instructor was very impressed. With what? Running or swimming? What I want to get into is I want to find a fight gym. I really, really do. I want to either get into boxing or Brazilian jiu-jitsu or mixed martial arts. After the days I have in dealing with the internet and in the markets, dude, I think fighting is what I should be doing. I very much think I should be joining a fighting gym, or maybe if I don't, maybe just a random group of people in New York who want to beat the shit out of each other twice a week. That could also be an interesting technique. All right, I'm moving my stop up a little bit more, so I'm officially green on the day. Jiu-jitsu, bro, will change your life. It changed Tom Brady's life, and he's the GOAT. So if it's good enough to change Tom Brady's life, it is good enough to change my life. Roll with sweaty men and do some pegging. Dude, there's nothing more you'd want to do on a nice Sunday afternoon. I wanted to go to a boxing gym and just offer to pay money to fight the instructor. Just walk in like, me, you now. Could be worth it. Whew. Almost at 50K on the day. $45,000 return on the Nasdaq position, $35,000 return on the SPY position. So together that's 80K. Then we have another 6K on Broadcom, and then currently losing 3K. Basically up $83,000 unrealized. I'm loving the gain in the account, not only on the options account, but also on the, I'm close. I'm almost at the point where I can hit the profit target I need for the payout. I'm almost there. Almost. What would your fighting weight be? I walk around right now at 190, so my fighting weight would probably be 140 if I had to. I do watch UFC and MMA, so I'll be the first to admit I probably have 10 to 15 pounds of fat to lose. And then on top of that, by the time you do like the water weight cut, I'm about 5. I'd probably fight 140, 145, 150 would probably be my fighting weight. If I had to guess. All right, we hit that level that I am concerned about. Okay, the wall did move slightly up. It did move slightly up. So I'm not fully expecting a hardcore rejection. Of course, it could happen, but there is also an argument for like maybe a little bit of an overshoot first. There is argument for a little bit of an overshoot. When I was in 6th grade, my PE class had a mile day. My fastest was 6 minutes, 10 seconds, but there were a couple girls running in 5:55s, a couple boys that ran 4:50s as 6th graders. Jesus Christ. Do they give tren and steroids at your middle school? That's crazy. I'm 195 and fight 195. The streets don't give you time to cut weight. Well, that's if I was legit fighting. I know what you're saying, but also, dude, guys, look at me. It doesn't show it right now, but this is like, I'm a little hefty right now. I'm a little chunky right now. Why do you think I'm all of a sudden reinvigorated to be on the stair stepper every day? It's because your boy has not been dieting. Your boy's been taking a little bit too many high nooners in. My kcals are off the chart as I am in this studio all day, and then I sit on a chair. I could lose 10 to 20 pounds for sure. It might not show it, but your boy's getting a little thick, a little bit thicker than he should be. A little bit thicker. Yeah, beefcakes. But that's all right. When I do the shit I'm supposed to do, I could lose it pretty quickly. I think if you guys gave me like a month, I could probably drop 10 to 15 pounds. When I do cuts, I do them pretty aggressively. I just, I like to pair hardcore workouts with anorexia, and I find that is the best way for me to lose weight. Just consume no food and work out until I actually cannot see. And we are going a little. What's the max? Dude, we're not that far away from my max target. Not that far away. Like, it's not the most insane thing. All right, so this teal line is my break even on the day in terms of even if we pull back to pay off this loss. Obviously, my stop's above that, so no matter what, I'm making money. No matter what, I'm making about $300 on the day. My worst case scenario is being net ahead $300. As you can see, my best case scenario all the way up here is making $3,000 per account, which would be 75K, which would be a nice back-to-back dinger on top of yesterday. A nice back-to-back dinger, making a nice 80K yesterday. Above 487 on the Qs is out of correction territory. I'm 6 foot 180. Dude, put on some size, brother. Put on some size. You have what's it? An ectomorph build, I believe is the fancy schmancy name I learned in nutrition class one time. Hang on. My producers say yes. All right, we're at. I'm a little bit nervous about this. Little bit nervous about this one. We're right at a key level. And yes, if we break and go, we're talking 5,700, which is obviously a very nice ride, a very nice trade. But I would be thoroughly surprised if we don't get a little bit of a speeding ticket here. What time is it? It's 11. Things might be getting a little bit choppy. $25 points. So I'm actually at the payout. Oh, wait. I think if I got out, if I had my sitting profit target right at that high, I think I would have been darn close to exactly what. I think I might have needed it a little bit more, something like 80, and then I would have been at the payout level. I'm just doing some quick math. 600. Yeah, 80, 85. I think it's 85 is where, if it does go, I could theoretically be like, all right, I'm at the profit goal I need for the payout or something kind of close to that. So maybe I should just move this down to 100, just do a little bit of an overshoot, just so I have some buffer built in. About $300 worth of buffer just in case I mess something up in the future. But then obviously this would also be really nice all the way up here. I'm trying to think of a way where I could just aggressively move the stop all the way up and not have to withstand this potential smack at 50. I wish the market gods would just be nice and we get a clear follow through. But as obviously anticipated, we're running into a little bit of a struggle. You can see it here, probably better on the 15 second. We're running into a bit of a struggle here at 50. We undershot it, finally got the breakthrough, tested it, slight overshoot, immediate smack. So we're just profit taking. There's profit taking at 50, and hopefully there's not so much. See, you could even see it here. Mag 7 starting to tilt a little, SPY like almost a noteworthy dip right there. It actually peaked at 1040, price went higher, a little bit of a divergence at 11, and now that we are hitting 11, we're actually seeing a bit of a pullback. Oh, will it? If it holds 43, I'll feel fine. I'd prefer it get back above 49, this little recent high here, because that was a little miniature waterfall that we're seeing. Once again, the Mag 7 profit taking, S&P 500, we have some profit taking. So, and that's fine, I suppose. I'm just hoping that there's not so much profit taking that it like legit changes the trend of the day. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, that's such a beautiful trend. I don't necessarily just want to arbitrarily get out. Maybe I just move my stop all the way up here. Maybe on a new intraday high, I just aggressive and put it all the way up to 50, which would guarantee 115 points on the day. Right now, the current trade is up 2.6K net. I'm up 1.8 on all 25 accounts. which is a hair below 50,000. I'm up maybe like $47,000. Did you write your own code to put in entries and exits? Would love to know how to do this. I do. My background's in computer science. That's what my undergrad degree is. And then I was moving, I moved to New York and I was getting my master's degree in statistics. And then the program got put on pause when the COVID hit. And then I just never returned because as the program was on pause, I started making content and my content took off. So I have like half of a master's degree in statistics. So that is to say that, yeah, that's my major interest is programming trading strategies that are backed by statistical analysis to trade for me. Cardio barely burns fat. I would say it's part of the equation. You want to be in a calorie deficit, and you could do that from either eating properly or burning more, but generally you want the combo of the two. For sure, move it up so you can get out way up. I'm going to move it. It's just more of, do I want to use 14? Do I want to use 28? Or do I want to use 49? I'm just looking at that low, that low, and that low. I should move it up, though. All right, it's up. Up almost guaranteed. We just made a high. All right, it's at 26. So it's 90 points in the money. So it's $1,800 guaranteed. I have a loss of 800. So no matter what, I'm guaranteeing myself 25 grand on the day, guaranteed net 25 grand. And if it keeps going, I might actually make 75 grand. So worst case scenario is 25 grand. Best case scenario is 75 grand. Hang on, I'm going to split my accounts. I'm going to split the take profit accounts and do something different.
Order canceled. Order canceled.
I'm going to treat
Order
my
canceled. Order canceled.
Apex and take profit differently, which is why I'm
order canceled.
Canceling all these.
Order canceled. Order canceled.
All right. I was trading all 25 together, but I have a new plan now. That's at 26.
Order submitted.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that this copied properly to all the accounts now that I'm messing with things. So that's at, what level is this at? 26, 25, 26, 25. Okay, cool. So right now the stop on all 25 of my accounts is at the exact same level. But what I'm doing is I have a max profit target ceiling on Apex because of their consistency rule. So for me, I intentionally stop myself at a 3K gain, which is why this profit target is at seemingly an arbitrary level. It's because by the time you do the math, that is not right. Oh, wait, no, it is right. Yeah. Okay. So that would basically mean a net 3K profit per account on the 20 Apex accounts. But what I'm doing is there's not a similar rule on take profit. On take profit, if you can catch a trend, you want to ride the trend. So I have the same stop, but I'm not putting a ceiling on it because in the event that we run all the way up an additional 50 points to a level that it's in play today of 5,700, well, I want to ride that position. So there are nuanced differences between all these SIMDA funded companies, and because of the 30% consistency rule, that's why I'm currently trading my take profit differently than I'm trading my Apex. So in the perfect situation, Apex goes up, or the market goes up, and Apex gets filled at 20,126. Then from there, we go to, I don't know, maybe something like 20,150. And then I move my stop up to where I got filled out here at 26. And then if there's a runner, I caught a runner. And if it comes back and knocks me out, great. All the accounts are equal anyway. So that's kind of where my mindset's at. But I'm also trying to be mindful of the fact that, All right, I don't need this anymore. I'm trying to be mindful of the fact that we might be running into a bit of resistance at 20,100 because simultaneously as we're coming up on that level, SPX, the actual S&P 500, is still struggling at this 50 level where we're seeing quite a bit of action. Quite a bit of action. And right now, I'm hesitant because we're not seeing 5,700 bets come in. That strike price. 5,700. There was quite a bit of open interest coming into today, but based on the intraday bets right now in real time, people are not playing that level. They're playing awkwardly in between. They're basically at 5, 6, 7, 5. I wish I had the money to invest that I spent in college. My degree was in animal science, but I never went to vet school, so basically is useless. I feel like that's a common issue people have with school, higher education, for lack of a better term, is they're like, what the fuck did I spend my money on? Maybe we gonna keep going here. This is going 51,000. So almost 50K on this trade. That's gonna be one of my best trades of the year. I have a couple trades that are above 50K, so it'll be nice if this one pumps a little bit more to get in that. This one's 36K, not too far away, a bit more and it could get go. And then I have two smaller plays, 6K and a loss of 2.4. So this account is growing nicely. Nicely. Come on. NVIDIA looks like no man's land. Why I went long on Hood and it's ripping. It had good earnings. Bitcoin's going crazy. Bitcoin is 97K. Bitcoin's taking off. Tesla's going now. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin's ripping. MSTR is probably ripping. Meta's up 6%. Microsoft's 9.5. Broadcom's 3.5. NVIDIA's 4. Some people were talking about Apple. Barely green. Rum at $8. Amazon up 3.4. Remember, Apple and Amazon report after the market closes today. ASML is a little red. I find that surprising. But yeah, Bitcoin's looking great. MSTR is looking great. Tesla, how's Palantir looking today? It's good. It's green, but it's not Rip City like Tesla and MSTR at the moment. All right, we're almost at this next $100 rung. We're almost there. Come on, Tonto. So had I not done that first trade, I would already be at where I need to be, 3K gain, which for Apex is my self-implemented ceiling profit just because I don't want to break their consistency rules. So I base it on a 10K buffer, 30% of that is 60K. And like I could get out here and I'm at that buffer. But when you're at a buffer, you still have to trade other days. So I might need a little bit more leeway, which would be so nice if this hits. So nice if this hit. Riot also reports after the market closes today. That's up. I mean, there's a lot of bullishness today, and it seems like the semiconductor world and the crypto world, especially the crypto world, is looking good. But also hats off to Tesla. That's quite the recovery, especially after the Wall Street Journal tried to crush it, but it's up 3%. Not that far away. I mean, I might. If it gets to 295, if it gets to 300, I'll be back to break even on this play. And I have time. Come on. I'm here fishing. We're just trying to catch a trend. And continually moving my stop up higher and higher and higher. Part of me is thinking about moving it up to 50, but I'm just worried about how big the smack might be at 100. SPX, it is above 5,650. It's at 53 right now. This is going to be cutting it close. This is going to be cutting it real close today, folks. Real close today. Because I see some bets coming in at what level? 75. Okay, they're officially moving up from 50 to about 75. So I'm getting a little bit more breathing room from the ceiling on top of me right now. So I'm feeling confident, Just got a 30% consistency, meaning he has to finish in a 30% range of his mean. No. 30% consistency. What the hell is this? as in no individual calendar day, no one trading session can be more than 30% of your total net profit. So right now, my total net profit is $60K. So no individual day can be more than $3,000 because I'm up 10K, 30% of 10K is 3K. And that's intentionally why I capped myself at 3K, because I knew my goal was $10,000. So no individual trading session can be more than 30% of your total net profit is one of the 30% rules. There's another 30% rule where you can't have an unrealized drawdown on one individual trade by more than 30% of your buffer. If you're below 5K, and if you're above 5K, it's not 30%. It's here we go. Come on. Come on. Go, 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 go. Something must have, shit. How close was that? It hit 23 and I needed 26. Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't toy with my heart like that. We got so close. So close. Get back up. 23. I was 3 points away. 3 freaking points away from what I needed. Oh, that's painful. We were right there. Right freaking there. Was there news that was just announced? Or is it just random trades? Trump plans to oust the White House National Security Advisor Waltz. U.S. Treasury auction $76 billion in 3-month bills. That's not it. I'm not seeing any news. I think that was actually just trades hitting the market. Expect to hear from POTUS very soon. White House National Security Advisor Waltz to Lee's post. I don't think that'd be really having an impact on these trades. Liquidity grab, whatever that means, dude. Come on. Come on. Bring me to the promised land. Bring your boy to the promised land. You could do it. You could do it. You could do it. Come on. Look at those sweet tendies. Bring me to the promised land. Come on. Come on. Not that much more. Not that much. Just a little pop. Just a little pop is all I'm asking for. Undecided bots. Feels like it. All these undecided candles. Just touch it. Just touch it. Just give it a little tap. A little kiss. A little kiss. That's all we have to do. Just a little smooch. A little bit of a smooch here. A little bit of a smooch. Come on. Come on. Broadcom getting some sort of a breakout. Just a little kiss. Just a little peck. You could do it. You could do it. I know you guys want to do it. I know the market wants to do it. The tarot card foretold this prophecy. As you guys are about to witness, there is a reason why I am unanimously considered to be the best tarot card trader on this side of the Mississippi. The way I can read those cards and interpret it on top of the mythical puzzle referred to as the stock market, it's second to none. It truly is second to none. I know a lot of people look at fundamentals, technicals, options, but it's all in the heart of the cards. It really, really is. And whatever. I'm not here to badmouth fundamentals, technicals, options flow, or anything in between. But what I am here to tell you is if you want to also make $75,000 in a day, it's much more of being able to interpret what the market gods have in store for all of us, which the only way I know of to really know that is to accurately read tarot cards. Come on, we're getting there. Just do it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Do it. 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 No. No. We got up to 26 and mine's at 26.5. Are you kidding me? Oh. Ay caramba, mi amigo. No. Oh, no, 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 no. No, please. No. No. No, 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 no. Senor, no, no one's home. Dios mío. Fuck. Seriously? Fucking seriously? I'm not so happy about this one. I'm not so thrilled about how that just played out, if I'm being completely honest with you. Fuck. That's going to be a painful one. That's a little bit of a painful one, if I'm being completely honest, team. That one hurts. That one felt personal, you know? Sometimes you understand things happen in the market and whatever. We're just the little minnow fish who's potentially along for the ride. But that one felt actually legitimately like intentional against me. I'll say it. Kind of feels like a hate crime. It does. It feels like the market hates me, and that's not cool. That is... I feel like it's illegal. I want a refund. You mock the tarot gods and they spit in your face. I was trying to be their shepherd. I was trying to get all of you to join the army of light of the tarot card gods. And I obviously displeased them. Or there's something nefarious afoot. It's probably more so that. I don't think the market gods would lead me awry. I think those candles don't look like normal red candles. That looks like crime. Like over here, that's a normal red candle. That's a normal red candle. This crime. And like it has the vibe of crime, you know? It really, really does. It feels like maybe something else is going on that is maybe not so, maybe not technically above board. It reads differently. Like you guys have seen red bars in your days. Those red bars, something's iffy about them. You've been targeted. It feels like it. Come on. I think if it can get back above 20,110, high, I think I'll be good. But I'm sweating a little here, if I'm being completely honest. I'm sweating a little. No. Well, the SPY's picking back up, so that is what I would like to see. The Mag 7's taking a bit of a breather. It's more so sideways than anything else. But the SPY's picking up. Price isn't. Price didn't get the memo. I'm seeing the options are picking back up, but price, no one told the price that it's actually going back up. I guess it's playing a game of telephone. Yeah, look at all profit target or profit taking. Yeah, I guess whoever's controlling the SPX right now did not get the memo that the options actually started to pop once again. No one informed it. Shit. All right. Shit. Fuck, dude. How can a person get that close? Oh. I want a refund. I'm about to call the manager and go Karen mode because this is bullshit. I'm about to get the manager on speed dial and demand a freaking refund. What the fuck was that, dude? And unfortunately, we're just getting into What? I just heard draw another card. Just take profit. Dude, don't be such a fucking baby. Don't be such a freaking baby. Just take your profit. You know, you would have been saying that all day and I would have even gotten close. You would have had me take my profit 100 points ago. Sit down. Sit down. This game isn't for little girls. Chill out. Turn those machines back on. I'm about to start cheating. I'm about to start cheating. Fuck, dude. Why can't... Okay, I get it. Profit taking. Like, just give us a bit of a bounce. Like, bounce out here so I can at least move my stop all the way up to this level. Like, let's just chill. I get it. You guys proved your point. You're taking your profits. Ha, 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 ha. Matt's the butt of the joke again. Ha, 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 ha. Everyone gets their laughs. Everyone, yeah, ha, let's laugh at Matt. Let's get really, really close to where he makes a shitload of money, and then let's just smash it in his face because ha, 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 ha. That's the game we play. It's all so funny. I get it. You're getting your chuckles. You're getting your laughs. But like, for real now, let's just stop this. Let's just bounce it. Cool. You proved your point. I'm the joke. Everyone, let's just laugh at Matt. Laugh at Matt. Let's ha ha ha. Matt's the joke again. How can you tell this is profit taking? Because you can see the call delta dropping right here. Call delta dropping, and actually some puts being purchased. But right here, see how from 11:20 right here, this peak, the call delta is dropping. That's 0 DTE profit taking. Calls are being sold. And then we're also seeing it on the Mag 7. See how the orange and the green are dropping? Calls are being sold. And simultaneously, puts are being bought. So it's kind of like the double whammy. Ha 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 ha. Matt's the butt of the joke again. Ha 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 ha. All right, if we can stop, that'd be really fucking cool. If SPX can get back on top of 5656, this high here at 1121, remember the self was 1121, 1123 in calls. So if the market can push back above, it's basically absorbing that profit taking on the calls and the new bearish positions on the puts. So that's why I have this marked out, is because that's when we saw a little bit of change in trend in the delta flow. So I'd love for the market fuck me. What is happening here? We're just up or down 2 points like it's nothing. Someone must be trading some size in a low liquidity environment to pop, drop. Fuck, dude. We're all over. It tried to get a little bit of a trend line breakout. I'm hoping it's just basing right here. I very much need it to be basing right here. Come on. Just chill out. Let's get back above 20,100. Oh, let's get back above 5656. We're not that far away, but we're definitely getting some profit taking in here. After the 240K payout from Apex, will you be able to draw any amount of payout from Apex? Yeah. After your sixth payout, and it doesn't even have to be max payouts. It doesn't necessarily have to be 240. But as soon as you get those 6 payouts, your 7th payout is uncapped. it will bounce eventually. I actually truly believe that. It's just more of a question of how much of a downswing do I want to endure just in case that read is wrong. This pullback is inherently very small relative to what's happened today. Like, this is still by definition very bullish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour bullish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour bullish. We're on top of a key level. We're on top of 5,650 right here. Like, if anything, this might just be setting up an opportunity for other bulls to step in on a potential trendline breakout. The issue here is obviously I am anchoring my trade to the fact that I was that close to getting out. I was like a point away. And you guys saw me. I put that profit target in like literally hours ago at this point, and it just got that close. It got within 1 point of giving me my fill. So it's just more so of, yeah, when we were at this value at 11 a.m., I was feeling good. I was like, oh, we're not that far away. Great, I'm riding it. And even though we're still at that same exact value that we were at about 30 minutes ago, I now feel shitty about it because of recency bias. I'm thinking, oh, well, okay, at this point I was feeling good because it was the intraday high and it was the max I had been at that point. Then I rode past it. And even though we're at that exact same value, your emotional state changes because you're like, well, fuck, dude, it was like that close. So that's a very painful act or aspect of recency bias. A very, very painful aspect of recency bias. Matt, why does it always tops out like literally tick away from your target? Because I'm unlucky. I don't know. Because the market gods hate me. I don't know. But what I can tell you is, unfortunately, this could easily draw back 10 or 20 points and knock me out and still be bullish. So I'm almost wondering if I should just fucking take this now. It's just so frustrating to get that fucking close. Yeah, look at this spot. Look at all that profit take. Son of a bitch, dude. Like, just so incredibly unlucky. Oh, well, here I was thinking that I got rivered. I thought I was going to river my opponents. And instead, turns out I was way too confident thinking I had the best hand. And your boy got rivered. Your boy got rivered. Fuck me. God damn. There's not words to explain how fucking frustrating this is. It's so incredibly fucking frustrating. Fucker. Son of a fucking bitch, dude. Fuck that, dude. I cannot. Such a goddamn bad beat. Such a fucking bad beat. I cannot believe that happened. Like, I truly cannot fucking believe that happened. Yeah, this is just going to come and fucking knock me out. God damn, that's so frustrating. So fucking frustrating. I very much need this to be the bottom, or it's just going to come and knock my stop, and then most likely it's going to run, and I'd hit my target if I was willing to take on more risk. But at this point, I'm not willing to take on any more risk. So worst case scenario is I make $1,000 per account. I have 25 accounts, so worst case is 25K. And that will happen if we even make a slightly new push to the low side here. So once again, I am not moving this stop. That stops there. I already did the math. No matter what, it guarantees me 25K. Best case scenario is we make slightly a new high, like literally to the point of, dude, I needed the Qs to go less than 5 cents. Probably less than 3 cents for me to get that fill. That's how close, for the equivalent of how much I needed NQ to move by a point. We were talking less than 3 cents on the Qs. Less than 3 cents would be what did we hit? 487.18. If that hit 487.20, like literally probably 2 more cents, I would have gotten the fill. That's how incredibly fucking close it was. And now I'm just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-minute bars in a row, just 15 minutes of fucking these pussies profit taking, calls dumping, calls getting sold, puts getting bought. We're probably seeing that also on the Mag 7. Mag 7's at least holding flat, which that's another indication that it probably will go back, but I can't be trading. I can't move my stop on the anticipation of don't worry about how much it pulls back. It's going to go up because inherently after taking this losing trade and then having this winning trade, like I just don't want to give that much back. So I can't move it. And knowing my luck, especially after how this played out today, it's going to wick me out. And then it's going to maybe go a little bit more, or probably knowing my luck exactly to it. And then it's going to rip and go all the way back up here. Like that's just how it fucking goes. I like this. Pigs get slaughtered. Dude, what do you mean pigs get, like that was in there for hours. How the fuck could you possibly call that a greedy play? It wasn't like I kept moving it up and saying, oh, more and more and more. I put that in hours ago. Literally fucking hours ago. Shut up. You're a fucking dipshit. Pigs get slaughtered. Oh, once again. See, this is the same fucking retarded comment that I was talking about before. That's effectively saying, oh, why didn't you top ticket? Well, listen, motherfucker. If I knew it was only going to go a point below it, I would have taken the profit. Like, what a stupid fucking comment. Matt, how did you not know that it would be going all the way up to 126 and then your order was at 126.5? What a fucking retard. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. If I knew that, I obviously would have taken it. This is one of the things about people who like to yell from the bleachers. Dude, if you're in it, if you're so good of why you didn't do it, let me see your account. Let me see you and where your trades are at. And let me see where you perfectly top ticket. Because you fucking didn't. It's so easy for everyone to be like, why didn't you get out at the top? No fucking shit, dumbass. If you knew it was the top, you would get out. No fucking shit. As if I would know I'd be within 1 point of getting my profit and it would aggressively turn from there. God damn. People are so fucking stupid. No, I suck at trading. Yeah, trust me, not fucking surprised. You're an angry guy. All right, let's say you lose 25 grand in a couple minutes when you were like absurdly close to actually making it. I guarantee you, if you played with the numbers that I play with, you would also be feeling some sort of way. I absolutely guarantee you, if you were in my situation of your net worth swinging by 6 figures a day, you would feel some sort of way. But inherently, you're not playing with what I'm playing with. You're playing far smaller, so it doesn't really like matter to you. You're like, oh no, I'm only up a couple $100. So like, yeah, no, if my net worth were only changing by a couple $100, I probably wouldn't care either. But inherently, my net worth is changing by literally 6 figures. Fucking, oh, he's angry. Yeah, no shit, I'm fucking angry. I almost made it. And then it got completely like smacked and whatever. That is trading. Like you get rivered. I got rivered. But for someone to be like, you're angry, why didn't you get out of the top amount? It's just like stupid fucking commentary. I lost $1,300 and broke my laptop. Yeah, you probably get it. When you start to play with sizable numbers, like there's real life impacts. And I'm seeing massive swings for even right there, 57. So I lost $10,000 there. I lost, I don't know, 30,000. No, more than that. Yeah, about 30,000. So that downswing cost me 40 grand. From that high to where we are right now, between my options account and between my futures account, that was a $40,000 swing for me. And then the fucking geniuses in chat are saying, why didn't you just get out right there? Even though your profit target was in there for literally hours, why didn't you just get out right there. God damn. Day in and day out, I learned that stupidity has no fucking bounds. It's, if there were one thing on earth to prove infinity, it would be stupidity. Oh, I really need this to be the bottom. If this is just a little fluke and then we puke, I'm just fucked. All right, what's the flow? Mag 7 is flat. So not, oh, this is why I'm going to get cracked right here. The SPY is diving again. If this continues, your boy's fucked. Right here. Huge vomit, a little bit of a pop, sideways, not looking the most healthy. Mag 7 is trying to get, like, it's a slight baby uptrend, but my concern is this right here. Like, it is literally just the SPY getting clocked. That is not what I need. Why are you not going out now? Martin, shut up. Shut the fuck up. You think that's like really the question I want to be answering right now? Like, goddamn, some people are just, Martin, like, seriously, you can't use like 2 fucking neurons to understand that it's just hope that this is the bottom and it recovers. Like, you can't. Your brain is honestly like, was that a true, genuine question? Like, your brain does not function at the level that clearly it's just a hope that this is the bottom and we bounce back up and I can make that money. Like, honestly, like, that is so outside of your fucking wheelhouse of imagination that you're just sitting there dumbfounded and you're like, I just don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Like, fuck, Martin. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, you can't, like, seriously, your brain just didn't register that of like, oh, that's the play. He has this stop in. I have not moved my stop or my profit target in literally hours. And now that's your big brain fucking question. Dude, some people truly just don't have what they need to have to like survive this game. Like, fuck. Like, some people literally just do not have what it takes to be successful in this game. Riddle me that. It's a fucking riddle, dude. We should get Stephen Hawking on that. Let's get this team of Stephen Hawking, Sherlock Holmes. Let's get the CIA involved. Let's get the FBI involved. Let's just do a big fucking powwow to try to figure out what's going on. Please reach under the table and grab a high noon. It's time, dude. It feels like it. The 1-2 combo punch of the trade going against me and retarded questions. It's funny you're still up 25,000 on the trade. People will never be happy with what you do. I appreciate you, brother. Probably your most transparent person I've ever watched. I appreciate that. I mean, that's all we have is transparency. I can't not be transparent because as soon as people do that, you know that they're just like hiding something. Yeah. And inherently, it's weird because it's like really picked up over the past month or two that there's this like interesting cultural shift in live streaming the market and active trading where people like really are at that expectation of why do you not bottom tick and why do you not top tick, to the point that it's becoming like, I mean, I was making fun of it, but like we're seeing it in here. It's just like, hey, why aren't you doing that? Like, why are you not trading it perfectly? Like, and it doesn't, I guess, register in their brain that it's just actually a fucking retarded question. Absolutely a dipshit question. But at the end of the day, they'll suck at trading. They'll blow out. They'll blame the market. They'll be like, yo, the market sucks. Like, it's rigged. Like, that's like that dumb shit that you're going to hear. And then they quit. They lose all their money and they quit and they move on. So, like, it's not necessarily an audience member that is going to sustain the marathon that is trading. Yeah, I'm about to get clocked. Comes for me. Fucking shit. Come on. Come on. Can I get lucky? If you're getting this absurdly unlucky, maybe the pendulum swings both ways and you can then get absurdly lucky where it comes close to knocking you out. It's about to get me. I just want to make sure I have my stops in on both. Okay, I do. So I'm protected. Fuck, this is not what I wanted today. Oh, what a fucking bad beat. The crazy thing is, the most painful thing about this is if I just use my stop management and had it like break even all the way down here, I bet at some point today, like by market close, you're going to look back and be like, yo, if he just held it, it actually would have hit. Dude, I've been here so many times and that's just how it plays out. But I obviously want to protect myself to some degree. And like right here, I'm basically guaranteeing myself $25,000 of profits. So I'll hit it and whatever. It's going to be a good day. I'm not going to complain about 25K, but like it's going to be the kicker that I'm going to come back at the end of the day and it's going to be in excess of this value. And I would have been able to get the full money, which is just so, it's so frustrating. And I don't think there's many people who are going to understand it. Obviously, the longer you trade, you're going to be like, yep, nope, I've been there and it absolutely sucks ass. And it's just like a very, very frustrating part of trading. It will stop him out and rip for the rest of the day. Most likely. We're getting to the point where this is like an abnormal, based on ATR, based on price movement, this is an abnormal pullback from the size of that height to this lull. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. When Matt gets stopped, it's a signal to buy long. Honestly, I'm about to get stopped. I really, like, as much as I'm like laughing about it right now, truly, I would not be surprised if this is somewhere in the bottom, within 20 points of the bottom, and then we rip and it goes all the way past it. But once again, I can't take on that risk because there's a non-0% chance that maybe it does break and keeps going. And I definitely don't want to go red on the day. So, I would think that with high odds, we're going to turn here soon. And just for as close as we are, I'm just curious if this was an actual trend line breakout. No, it's not. I wouldn't be surprised if we turn here soon, but first it has to knock me out. Of course it does. And whatever, I'm too pissed off. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to take this money. It's going to knock me out. I'm going to take this money and I'm going to move on with my day and just be like, all right, 25K. And it's not where I wanted to be, but it is technically one step closer. I'm getting myself to roughly where I need to be. Oh, within almost maxing out that buffer. Almost. Fuck, just so close. What is really happening, it's not just price going down, it is this right here. It is the S&P 500 index is just vomiting, and it kind of started right at 11:25. What time is it? It's almost noon. Right here, we hit this peak, and you could just see all these pussies are taking their profit on calls, and then starting at a couple minutes later, you could see people got into puts. So calls are being sold, puts are being bought on a double basis. We are dropping delta. The delta has aggressively vomited since 11:27 and it just hasn't stopped. And that's exactly what's fucking me. And then the fact that the Mag 7's holding is telling me that this is just a temporary pullback, but it doesn't matter because I'm literally about to get clocked right here.
Order canceled.
Yep, locked in. All right, 25K locked in. That fucking sucks. You're going to look back at this and be like, yo, that was the bottom and we bounced off of it. And it's going to fucking drive me absolutely insane, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. 25K locked in right there. Like literally bottom tick. It's going to go. It's going to have a trend line break. Options are going to get picked back up and it's going to fucking rip. And it's going to make me want to punch a fucking hole in the wall. And obviously, not only is it frustrating to see that $50,000 swing in my account, it's also obviously more frustrating when I have to deal with like the dumbest fucking comments from people who have no fucking, from people, dude, I know these comments in chat are just coming from people who have never stepped foot in the fucking arena, and then yet you still have the dumbest fucking comments. Like, the dumbest fucking comments. Whatever. You can ask your dumb comments if you could ever outperform me, but in reality, you can't. You can't. But whatever. 25K locked in. All right. That is what I have for you. I'm done. I'm not going to keep trading because I'm just going to be way too pissed off about this. Way too fucking. Look at how much the delta just completely switched. Completely fucking switched. That's insane. Yeah, we're even coming up to this support on the 5 minute. We're coming up to this support on the 5 minute. Fuck this. This is stupid. All right. Well, 25K locked in. I can't complain that much because obviously it's a profitable day, but it is just frustrating. If you want to be in the raffle for 1 Bitcoin from crypto.com, check out what's pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you want to trade with someone else's money the way I am, Apex, what's the deal now? Is the deal officially over? So you might want to check out Take Profit instead. Once again, on Apex and on Take Profit, those are the two I use. I have 20 Apex accounts. I have 5 Take Profit accounts. The code Goonie will get you a discount on both. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Best of luck. I hope the remainder of your day goes better than whatever the fuck just happened to me, because that was by definition a bad beat. But sometimes that shit happens in trading, and sometimes you get really lucky. I truly believe the luck is a pendulum going back and forth. You could get absurdly unlucky the way I did, or sometimes you could get absurdly lucky. So it is what it is. It's part of the game, and you're never going to be able to will or wish that part of the game away. So it is what it is. So best of luck. I hope you make more money than I do. We'll be catching you guys later today. We're going to be posting an update video. We'll be posting a short, and then also we're going to be posting, we'll be streaming once again tomorrow morning. We're starting early tomorrow to conclude the week because it's the first Friday of a new month. So we're getting the unemployment report. So between now and tomorrow morning, after the market closes, you're going to be getting the earnings announcement from Apple and Amazon. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to be getting the GDP report. And then also we're going to be posting some update videos tonight. So basically, Apple and Amazon report. We're going to post an update video of what happened in the market today. Then we'll be streaming early tomorrow morning for the unemployment report. And then also tomorrow morning, we're going to be getting the earnings reports of Chevron and Exxon. So don't be surprised if there's some movement in the overall energy sector. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Like I said, I hope you guys crush it, but I'm obviously done for the day. Peace.